Bunk.
What is good? What is going on? What is cracking? I am Philly Foothills, and I am back in Nest Out West, where I'm trying to bring you the best place you can get shit off your chest when it comes to our Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody, to episode officially 27 of East Meets West, with my guys here, AK Eagles to my left, and Vic 3 down below me. We are triple live stream tonight because we are live not only on the Nest Out West out here in Cali, but we are live on Victory's channel, and we are live also on Eagles Uncensored, AK Eagles channels as well. Make sure you guys are all subbed up, shared up, lived up to all of our content. We really appreciate you guys. Big shout out to Key in the building for the fire intro. Fire intro. We really appreciate it, Key. Her link is in the description as well. You guys go make sure that you're subbed up to Key in the building. You should go check her content out, definitely. She's a great Philadelphia sports content creator. Definitely go check it out. And yes, sir. You guys already know what day it is. You know what day it is.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy.
Yeah.
Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
No free shout-outs.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? Oh, my goodness. AK, Vic, what's going on, my boys?
Man, I forgot about that commercial. I was over here dying. It's a good thing we were muted.
Yeah, I thought I couldn't. It's the first Wednesday. It's the first hump day of 2022. So let's go, baby. Let's go. Absolutely. AK,
Yeah,
what's
man.
going on, brother?
Not much, man. Nothing much. Just chilling, enjoying the week and, just not really worried at all, man. Just looking forward to the playoffs. And it's good to be able to sit here and say that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too long ago we were 2-5. Look at us now. So, yeah. We got quite a few. We got 8 people on the live stream already. So, let's
Shout out to the 8.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Salute to you guys.
Appreciate y'all for coming through.
Definitely. Jay Milt was the first one in the building. Big salute to Jay Milt. He said, "Let's go."
Milton.
Thank you, my
Followed
guy.
up by the always loyal subscriber and content creator as well, BLSG.
G.
He said, "What's
Yeah,
good,
man.
guys?" Definitely, you guys go check out his content. Make sure you subbed him up. The youngster's definitely getting his feet wet with the YouTube sports content creating stuff. So go check him out. Definitely. Yep. He said, "Let's talk some Eagles." Hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. Absolutely. Thank you, SG. We appreciate you checking in. Jadis,
Cheers.
what's going on? And our boy Gio.
Yeah.
Gio.
What's going on,
Yeah, my
Gio?
guy. Thank you for coming through.
Absolutely. Playoffs, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. If
The Ric Flair.
Ric Flair right now, I would. My voice
wasn't hoarse. I'd throw one out there.
Right? Baby wasn't sleeping, right?
Wife wasn't right there. Oh, BPS, what's good, my guy?
Big play.
Oh, Foothills getting as I'm getting the eye right now.
Special meeting.
Big play, Slay. What's going on? Nightings is in the building as well. What's going on, Nightings? Appreciate you sliding in for a little bit.
Yes, Nightings. What's good, my guy?
Thank you. Thank you. And hey, what's going on, Nina?
And you know,
Appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Very, very much so. Yeah, Geo Hump Day.
Okay.
That's my effing commercial Jay Milton said. That's right. I knew you guys would enjoy that. Definitely got to pull out the classics, you know.
Do you remember Terry Tate? Those commercials when the guys would be in the office, he would come through and just tackle them.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I used to love those commercials.
Yeah, definitely. Richie MC, what's going on? He said NFL wants more profit by more football with a 17-game schedule. Week 18 is the third preseason game. Thanks, NFL agreed. Only games that ready for both teams are Pitts versus Baltimore and Raiders versus Chargers. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. There's a lot of playoff seeding's been decided already. So, yeah.
If you think about it, the NFL even made a lot of money last year with those games that were moved back. What was it, the Pittsburgh game? I think they even moved a couple back to a Tuesday and a Wednesday. They had it like 2 weeks out the year. If you really think about it, they made enough revenue out of those 2 weeks to cover for what it probably gained as much as a whole week in the NFL because those were prime time slots.
It's always about money, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
First, it always will be. It always will be. It's business and business only. That's what happens when you have Nick Sirianni. Yes. Right. Big play Slate said Foothills. By the way, I changed my pick at the last second last week on the Eagles Washington football pick. Haha. Yeah.
Suspect.
That's very suspect. Very suspect. Yeah.
Guilty until proven guilty.
As we all know, I found Slay actually yesterday in a Giants chat. I went on Joel's channel yesterday. It just popped in. Just wanted to hear what my guy was talking about. And I was just talking about, I think, how I felt what the Giants should do going in the future, and how I felt the Giants team themselves and the fan base, they're scared of moving on from their current coach. So we had that conversation, but Slay was all up in there the whole time. I questioned his fandom. We always thought he was a Giants fan. This leaves me with more questions.
Definitely.
I was there for that one too, was I not?
Lots of questions to be answered.
Were you?
Was I?
Or maybe you came in late. I don't know. I don't remember.
Because I remember I was
on a
podcast. I was on a podcast with Joel, and we were talking. And Slay, man, he must have a lot of the same conversations because I had that one with Slay as well.
What's going on, Rick? Rick Gold, I appreciate you.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, no, I think I was like the only Eagles fan there because I think I even mentioned it when Joel said he had too many people. I was like, let me just back out because I'm the only Eagles fan here. We had one earlier with Birdman. And shout out to Birdman.
Yeah,
but
sure. Glad he's back.
No, not
happy he was back.
90s, what I think. Yeah, and salute to the 12 now. We got a dozen in the live stream. 90s, what Richie MC was saying is there's only 2 games where both teams, it'll matter for both teams because I believe the Falcons are out and the Saints will be the only one fighting in that one for anything. So that's what he was talking about. I'm pretty sure. Nightings.
What's good, Greek? How you doing, my guy?
Well,
Lindy Enzo, Joey Shakes. What's good?
What's good?
Yes, sir.
But there's still implications to these games because they still determine who's playing who in the playoffs. Right now, we're looking at either Tampa Bay or the Rams. So depending on who wins, what games are won, that's who we go up against. So there's still some implications to these games.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Get spicy and dicey.
Joey Shakes you said I got COVID the same day as the Eagles. LOL. Wow.
That
Yeah, I
sucks.
just heard about that. We heard about that, man. I'm glad you're feeling better though.
Thoughts
Yeah.
and prayers to you, Joey. Definitely. I'm glad you're up and able to at least get online with us. We appreciate you checking in. Definitely. Thanks, Joey.
Yeah,
Big time.
get better soon, my guy.
Definitely. Please. Yeah, get your rest. Get better soon. And yeah, let's try to collab soon. I want to get like a big roundtable going. With I want to get Philly Mike on. Joey can come on. Hopefully we can get 500 on as well. And let's do this. Definitely, I want to do that soon. So Joey, yeah, get better. You definitely get better. And thoughts and prayers to you, my guy. Lindy in zone. What's going on, Lindy?
Lindy.
Another good content creator, very smart individual. He's a rare one. He covers a Dallas team, being an Eagles fan. He covers the Dallas Mavericks, so go check him out. He's definitely always talking about. You hear the word Luca come out of his word a lot, so you'll definitely got to get used to. You'll get used to that. Shout out to Lindy.
No lie though, man. He said it. He said it all in one sentence. Lindy Endzone is probably one of the smartest people you'll meet. So definitely go sub to him. He's got the intellect for sure.
Very, very impartial. Very impartial. Very fair with his critiques.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's not hard. He's not biased. Not so.
Yeah. Yeah. BPS said, Uncle Drew, Joey. Yeah, everyone's excited to see the GOAT. Joey Shakes in the building. Yes, definitely get better soon, Joey. Get better soon. Absolutely. Everybody's giving him shout outs on here.
Hey, did you even hear? Now there's another variant.
Yeah.
Another one?
Hey, where was it from? What state? They were saying that if it comes out, it's going to be called the Pi variant now. France. There we go. It's in France. It's small. It's pretty isolated now. But they said if it gets out, there's another variant by the name of Pi, which is ridiculous. This is the world we live in now.
Rich EMC said that Lotto is 600 million tonight at 11 p.m. JC Eagles Talk already got his ticket. Me, I'm watching East Meets West podcast.
Hey, appreciate you, my guy.
I guess
Appreciate
I
you
am.
a lot.
Yes, sir.
You're loyal. You are. You're loyal. Definitely appreciate that. Jalen.
Jalen.
That's my guy, Jalen Williams. What's going on, dude? Appreciate you checking in. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, I guarantee you everybody in this chat is subbed up to Joey Shake 72. I can already guarantee you that with a triple stamp.
If not, do it.
Right? If by some way you're not. Definitely go sub him up. You're gonna love him. He's always putting out videos, like sometimes multiple ones a day. Lots of content, live streams with Philly 500. So, yeah, and their Shakedown podcast, which I've been enjoying watching some of the older ones and trying to catch up on them, which has been good. And yeah, definitely appreciate the GOAT. Kavon Kalem, what's going on? He said, "Yo, what's happening, guys? Fly Eagles fly." You already know.
Oh, my guy.
You already know.
Woman.
Sir. What did JDC? No one wants to be the same. Yeah, no kidding. Ron James. I don't know. Let's see here. Where was that? I lost my place. There we go. Rich MC said, AK, when is the conspiracy stream starting again?
I figured I'd start them up here right after football's over because a lot of us that do it are content creators of football, and with playoffs coming, it's just going to be a little too hectic. So I figured that'll give us something to do in the off season, So we'll do it afterwards.
I told you I got something cooking on Betty White.
Leave the woman alone.
Hey, see, that's the ultimate G right there. Betty was.
Yo, Betty White is the ultimate OG. Okay, leave her alone.
Right.
Everyone's want to be grandmother, man. Come on.
Oh, I should have had the Golden Girls theme song.
Hey, appreciate you for subbing up, my guy. Thank you.
Right. Definitely appreciate that. Very much so.
Thank you, Jadis. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it is. It is sad, Jadis, about Betty, definitely. But she lived a long life. I mean, technically, with all the leap years she lived through, she did actually live to be 100 and some odd days. So she lived a very, very long life. She experienced a lot. I'm sure she saw so many different things in her lifetime. So yeah,
Bro, and no
no,
lie, her best friend was Ryan Reynolds. Like,
Hey,
how best of a best friend can you have right there? Like, come on,
right.
man. She was
I just,
awesome to have Ryan Reynolds as her best friend. That says a lot.
yeah. And the cool thing is, like, you know what I'm saying, she got so much work that's out there between the Golden Girls, like movies
Yep,
that me and AK already recommended, Lake Placid and The Proposal. You know what I mean?
yep.
Like, just there's so much between the Mary Tyler Moore. If you want to go back and check it out, like, just to laugh, do your thing, whatever it is. But you know what I'm saying? You want to sit back and laugh, but watch some of those YouTube feeds of her. I guarantee you'll find it funny.
Yo, she's just an all out straight natural comedian, man. It's
Oh,
almost effortless when she makes you laugh. It's just really funny.
What's going on, Jay Boog? Jay,
What's up,
appreciate you
Jerry
checking
Lee?
in.
hey, my God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys still have Vic. You guys still have your podcast going, right? You and Jay Boog.
Yeah, man. We're in the process right now looking for a Cowboys content creator. So, if you know anybody out there, come shout us out. You can look me up on Twitter. I'm your host, Vic3. You can look up J Boog at Backyard Bird Sports podcast, excuse me. Reach out to us. You know what I'm saying? We want to see what's going on with the Cowboys. We're not a show that talks about the Eagles. Throughout the whole week we hear a lot about it. We want to hear about the opponents. We want to hear about your team. How you see us. That's what we want to know.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
don't forget the one that's on Friday nights, with the Eagles late night talk show. Me and Jerry Lee as well. We do
Yeah.
that. So, definitely swing by there and check us out. It's a good
that's
time.
right. Right. Hell, I might as well. I might as well start a podcast with them too.
Gotta
But
get one in there.
right,
He's out
right.
here
So,
grinding too. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Lee's a very smart guy. He always hits us
yeah.
up with the knowledge on the crypto every day.
Oh yeah. That guy's been. I'm still reading some of the DMs he sent me. Man, he sent me so much information. Is trying to wrap my
Heck
head
yeah.
around it. Definitely.
That's why I was like, yo, I'm definitely getting my wallet ready. Like I'm getting in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I need to. I need to get that going. Definitely. I need
Yeah.
to stop procrastinating on that because
Yeah.
can't let the opportunity pass me by. That's for sure. But yeah, I
Definitely.
mean, like I said in the in the title of the live stream tonight, the Eagles. Obviously, we all know that we got into the playoffs, but
Yes,
the team is also,
sir.
which is a great thing. Obviously, we're excited about that. The team is obviously hit very hard by COVID this week. In 12 players, including some key starters, have been placed on the COVID list. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this going forward? And do you think it's going to be an issue? And how much does the NFL's word hold weight now of them, of them saying that this virus is not transmittable during games? Because obviously, we haven't been hit at all this year, and then we play a team for the second time who has been hit with COVID very, very hard. So, Vic3, I want to hear from you first on this. What are your thoughts?
Listen, I'll start off like I said before. Like I'm not a doctor. I only play one on TV. But like with this COVID, like as far as I understood it, it has like a 2 week incubation period. We had played the Redskins 2 weeks ago. We played them again. Next day after that game, we have multiple players that come up with COVID. We've seen throughout the league, throughout this whole year, when you have a team that has COVID, pretty much the week after that, opposing team is going to end up with some players on COVID. It's not that hard to put two and two together. Whether or not that the league looks at it or cares about it, that's a different story. Because we all know money runs this league. They're not. That's not going to stop. They kind of took a little hit last year, but we discussed on little things that they made it back with those extra games that they put on Wednesday nights. But going forward with this game, it does seem hypocritical when we went against the Redskins. They pushed the game back a day, but for us, when this news came out, maybe it was a day before, but the league already knew about it beforehand. They pushed our game a day up to Saturday night. They should have just left it alone on Sunday and see what happens. And if you need be, push it back a day or two. That's what should have been done. But with the new policies, maybe our players have an opportunity coming back because they came up on Monday. If they test negative by Saturday morning, I guess.
Yeah.
You figure that they can play, and I think it depends on who's vaccinated or not. Now I don't know the vaccination status of the current players, but I'm assuming for the most part, most of them do have their vaccinations because I think the Eagles are one of the highest rated teams with players with vaccinations.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, so I would lean on the side of the fact that if most players test negative on Saturday morning, then we get our guys back. Yeah. So it doesn't mean I'm not worried about it. It all depends. Again, I don't know their vaccination status.
And that's even if we really I don't think we really have much to play for in regards to playing our starters this weekend. So, AK, what are your thoughts on the whole COVID thing and the players? Should we play the starters this weekend and all that?
Well, no, I don't think we do play the starters. I think this is Minshew's time to shine here. This is his game. I believe this is all our backups' time to shine. You'll see a lot of and you'll see a lot. I hope to see Gowan, McPherson, and Vincent Jr. out there. So, we can kind of get a glimpse of what our CB2 is going to be like next year in the battle that these three are going to have. It's going to be good to see the defensive line, the young guys in there, to see what they have going in the next year. Same with our linebacking core. There's going to be some guys out there we want to see. So hopefully Kayvon comes in and does a good job, and he shows improvement. Yeah, man, I think that getting COVID wasn't a good thing for us because, Washington, it's ridiculous how many people they have on the COVID list. I mean, it's almost like they have COVID parties over there in D.C. I don't know what's up, but they like to spread that shit, and obviously got caught up in it. But yeah, that sucks for us. But hey, asking us to have a anyway, so kind of is what it is at this point.
Yeah, and to answer Jadis's question, absolutely. I think we got it from Washington. There's no doubt in my mind because, like Vic said, we're one of the highest vaccinated teams in regards to the amount of players that we have vaccinated, and that obviously the vaccination doesn't prevent you from getting or spreading COVID, but we've been healthy very much so for the most part. We've had a few, maybe a couple of guys here and there, very sporadic. But to have 12 people put on the list all of a sudden, that's pretty obvious where we got it. And we need to touch on this too. You guys talked about it a little bit earlier with Birdman. We're damn lucky that our starting quarterback, possibly our future at quarterback, wasn't taken out by the damn falling railing and the fans that fell next to him as he was leaving the game at what are we calling it now? Fucked up field. I don't know. I don't know what else.
I always known it as Joe. What was it? Wasn't it RFK Stadium?
RFK Stadium.
That's how I always known it. I didn't know if they changed their name or not, but I think it's FedEx Field actually. FedEx Field.
Right.
Might as well call it JFK Stadium. Jesus.
But AK was the one that told me that I guess the fence, wherever the fencing they had, was held up by TikTok. I didn't know that.
Yo, listen
how wild that is?
Okay? That's how they fixed it, right?
No. They had pictures prior to the game starting. to where that fence is sitting there intact at that moment before fans even got in there. This thing was just put down in the little fucking holes, and it was zip tied together. They just zip tied it together. Like, and then it comes to find out they were like, oh, well, that's the handicap entrance for like the wheelchair handicap acceptable. And I started laughing. I'm like, wait a second. I was like, first off, I was like, how is that any better? I was like, imagine if that was somebody in a wheelchair that broke that thing. I was like, are you shitting me right now? That does anything any better?
No offense to no one out there, but if someone blows on the thing the wrong way and that thing turns and it goes through that, you just have someone in a wheelchair just flying through the air going through the tunnel. But the worst thing about it too was I heard that after those people fell, you understand, you should have medics come through, make sure everyone's okay. I heard security was being rude.
No, they were telling them get back up there to their seats and shit. And it's like,
how am I going to get back up, sir? I just fell. You hot? Right. Can you lift me? You want to be on your shoulders right now? Yeah, like, nah, hold on. I'm going to take a picture with my guy right quick. And that's another thing too. Like, if he would have gotten hurt, that's crazy. Like, and a lot of people are talking about, Jalen and the letter that he sent out to the league. It's good that he questioned him, because right now, when you think about it, we're talking about thousands of people going to NFL games. You have a stadium with so many people, so much weight. We already know what happened at Travis Scott concert. You're going to have fencing held up by zip ties. Not very smart. It's not very smart.
Right? Zip ties. That's crazy, dude. Especially, I mean, they're just really lucky that nobody got seriously hurt or worse, because they would have been looking at some fat lawsuits. That's for sure.
I guess they couldn't afford duct tape.
But that, oh my God, I even said that. I was like, they highly invested today.
Yeah.
But my thing is, you don't think about that. Like, for me, if I'm a billionaire, I don't want anyone suing me for any kind of insurance, any kind of liability. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have that taken care of. Zip ties wouldn't really be the thing. Lawyers are expensive. Let's do everything we can.
First off, how is that not welded?
That's what
are you kidding me right now? Why do you not have that welded? I don't understand why.
It obviously, like, it probably had broke previously, and they just temporarily fixed it. And they haven't had any crazy fans in so long because their team has sucked for so long that they haven't had to worry about it. So that's
in my head, it's like one of the players, kind of like out in those Baker Mayfield commercials. He just goes to Home Depot and purchases zip ties. You just see him fixing it on his off day.
They do one with Heineke.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
Take care of it.
That would be funny.
Cut to people just falling.
These are 50-pound grade weight zip ties. These should be fun.
Right? Hey, I have a question for you too. We discussed the fact, about, should the Eagles have their players starting for this game?
Yeah.
With our team always being a second half team, always starting off slow, do you think we're in a position to allow them to have that timeout? Don't you think that, A, they might come back a little rusty, and B, it's already we're already proven we're not a first half team, so that might even take them back a little further. Don't you think we should have a mix of starters and backups in? For me, it's you really don't want to get your line hurt, so you might want to give them some time, just like you would do in a preseason game. Maybe have them out there for the first half, second half, pull them. You already know Gardner Minshew's in there, so you want to give them a chance with some decent starters. You don't want them out there with second stringers. You want to give them a look. Maybe you want to trade them in the offseason, give them a decent look.
No, I agree. I think maybe like Devontae Smith. You might see Goddard for a series or two. All of them. You might even see the offensive line for a series or two. But I think that's all you'll get because, dude, you don't want to have injuries. Yeah. You pretty much want to go into the playoffs healthy. You already are on the brink of maybe not having Miles Sanders for the first playoff game. It all depends on, like we said earlier, what does broke mean? I don't understand the severity of broke. I mean, is it a fracture, and what is broke? They didn't specify. It all depends. It could vary from 2 weeks to 4 weeks to 6 weeks. It just all depends. So we got to figure, but all in all, man, to me, it's just about coming away this weekend healthy, getting ready for next weekend. And that means my key people, for the most part, do not touch that field. I mean, for instance, Jordan Howard should be resting, especially coming off that stinger. I would not play him one bit. He's played already. He knows the playbook. He understands what's going on. Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't play. Devontae Smith, like I said, series or two. Goddard, same way. But then, you put in Stoll and you put in Jackson and, everyone else after that.
That's a good, yeah. They should call it What the Fuck Stadium. That's what they should call it.
Yeah.
That's a perfect name.
I agree with you 1,000%, AK. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. Listen, we can sit Nelson, we can sit Slay. Unless it's for some reason they feel it's necessary to have them out there. Maybe they want to try some different looks. I don't know, but yeah, we can give those guys that we came in, especially those 3 cornerbacks. We can give them all looks this weekend to see what we have. And for them, it is a big game. Again, like I said, this game still determines on who we're playing in the playoffs. So it's not like we're not starting anyone because we don't care about the game. We still need to win. We still want to win. Like for me, especially, and I hope the team feels this because I don't want them looking at this as a week off. We're not starting. It doesn't matter. It still matters. We got embarrassed by Dallas.
It does.
We literally got embarrassed by Dallas. Let's return the favor. You know what I'm saying?
I also even go to far as saying that even Mailata doesn't touch the field. You have a valuable backup in Andre Dillard. I think Dillard, he needs to play anyway to just prove any value for going in the next season for either us or just any team in general to trade him to. So I believe it's just in our best interest to start Dillard because you don't want something bad to happen to Mailata. It only takes one play for somebody to roll up on him real fast, and that can happen right at the beginning. So I wouldn't even jeopardize that at all. And I don't even know if you go to the possibility of even saying Dickerson. They're 2 guys you do not want anything bad to happen to. So, it just goes into the extent of how you want to look at it. Is this important? Me, man, like I already told you, I'm looking at this game. Yeah, I want us to win, bro. But in all honesty, I'm chilling back and relaxing because I know we're in. I'm happy about because we were doubted all year long and no one believed in us. And now we're here. You can't break my spirits whether you win or lose this week. I want us to win with all honesty. I do. But if we don't, hey, we're fucking in, man. And that's what matters to me.
I mean, yeah. And I think to answer, I think you guys are, I agree with a lot of what you guys said. I think there's there's definitely upsides to both arguments of playing the starters or not playing the starters. There's obviously always the risk of injury, but we just don't. The one thing is we don't have, we don't gain anything directly by winning this week. We have to win and get some help to get the 6th seed. So, you kind of got to take that for what it is. Yep. But to answer Drew's question, I do think there's a very strong chance that they call up both Carrion and Huntley this week because I think, like AK just said about Mailata, I think there's a good chance that Boston Scott doesn't even see the field this week. And I say that for this reason because if we don't have Sanders come wild card weekend and Jordan Howard is still iffy, Boston Scott's going to be our number 1 guy. So we're definitely going to try to protect him as much as possible. So, what do you guys think about the possibility of Carrion and Huntley playing this weekend and being called up to the active roster?
Yeah.
You want to know? You go.
I know that, okay.
You guys trying to stop?
I was just asking you to begin with if you wanted to go first or what.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I was going to say, like, I totally agree with what you're saying, and for those reasons, because of that, Boston Scott might be our starter going forward. AK already mentioned it. We don't know what the extent of the injury is, so you have to, take all precautions.
Yeah. And I want to put it this way too. We signed Carrion. Yes, he was here. He's familiar with our playbook, and listen, he has fresh legs. He's not been used. So you can fully unleash this kid right away and see what he has. and that's something that will make me feel comfortable going into the playoffs. Say Jordan Howard still is not 100% and Miles can't go yet, but Carry On showed you that he can handle the workload and he's not injured that game coming out this weekend. And he is the Carry On that Detroit drafted to begin with. Then hey, it's for us, right? At least he can carry us into the playoffs, and pray to God he continues to do the same thing until Miles gets back. So I mean, Carry On should be the one that mainly should get all the carries, because that's who we need to see the most, I believe.
Got you.
I might argue Huntley because he's been on practice squad. He deserves some time before Carry On. But like I said,
he's not a power back though.
Yeah, I know, but you still got to see what you got in the kid. He's been on the practice squad for how long? Let's see if we need him. Again, he's supposed to be the guy before Carry On. So let's see if we got something in him.
No, I get you.
But either way, it really doesn't matter. Again, you're just trying to get looks. You're just trying to see what they can do. And the most important thing is we may have to play Dallas right after whoever played in the first round. So we're going to have to see Dallas again. You don't want to put anything on tape. It's good that you have Huntley. It's good that you have Carry On. Put Gardner Minshew in. You all know me. I'm all about putting Dickerson at center. Let me see what I got in the kid in center. But again, you want to give some. You don't want to give everything that what your team is right now, because, like I said, you may have to play Dallas in the playoffs. So Dallas already has tape on the game where they obliterated us. Then they have a game tape on backups. They don't have anything on us. So that's a smart move on our end.
And not man, but
that's a good point, Vic.
The other reason why I don't mind if we lose this game, and follow me down the rabbit hole here, is because the odds are very unlikely that you beat a team 3 times. And that's honest. If they go and they win this game, then they'll be, and say we have to repeat and play them right afterwards again, they're going to go in with their heads extremely high. And then you come back in with Hurts, you come back in with all your starters, and say Jordan is back and you run this ball down their throat, it's a completely different team than what it was the very first 2 times. And you walk out of here with that win and you hold your head up high. And next thing you know, Dallas fans are like, 27 again. Oh, my God. And we're the reason for that. Do you know how many bragging rights you can hold? Like, you own them now. We're the reason they're out after a killer year. Hey, I'm okay with that, man. So it is what it is to me.
I told you. I'm gonna pop some champagne. And especially if it's because of us. Oh, my. Oh, my. I might have to get some good bubbly.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go further.
Further AM. What's going on? Yep.
So hard to say and get out.
Joey the GOAT, Shake 72 said, I mean, at this point, they sit guys out. The game is meaningless. I know we don't need rest either, but we're going to be missing key pieces for this game. Yeah, true, Joey. Yeah. I think we'd be smart to play it on the side of caution and not play as much as starters as possible this weekend, because I would rather, like AK said, go into the wild card weekend as healthy as possible. And like Vic said, we might as well just put a real vanilla offense out there, and not give really Dallas anything to go off of. This game for the most part is meaningless, like Shake said, and it really doesn't matter if Dallas beats us 60-0, or if whatever. But it is what it is at this point. We're in the playoffs, Jinx. Don't worry about losing this weekend. We are in. We have the 7th seed locked in, so we are comfortable. We, like Vic said, do we want to treat it kind of like a bye week? Yes and no. We still got. It's still a regular season game, and there's still pride and things like that to play for. So.
Well, and not just that, bro, but you know what? that's the thing. And if it does happen, I'm gonna laugh my ass off because they're gonna be like, "Oh, but we beat you twice." I'll be like, "Yeah, but we won when it mattered." That's the only time I care is when you win when it matters most. And if so happen you lose this game, who gives a shit? The next week you win that game, I don't give a fuck about the 2 losses whatsoever. You automatically erase those 2 losses as soon as you win that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus, I don't think Sirianni is going to start any of the starters. Again, it's all I say. It's a mix of treating it like a bye week for the actual starters, and then treating it like the last preseason game or one of the most important preseason games for everyone else who's playing. Because again, it's about evaluation, seeing what you got, and giving those players experience. And most important, like I said, you're not trying to give Dallas or any other team any kind of tape on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're seeing backups right now. You got known. Who cares? Get as much as you can get off of that.
What's going on, the Fletcher Cox?
What's up?
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, sir.
Right. We have the Big 13 in the live stream right now. So salute to all you guys.
Thank you so much.
In less than 20 minutes from now, I'm going to drop the link in the live stream, and any of you guys in the chat or any of you out there, more than welcome to come on and be a part of the show and speak your mind. Let us know how you're feeling about things with our birds and all that good stuff. This is always kind of a fun week. Obviously playoff seeding it's already been determined, but it just I like to count the ways in my head during the week how many ways that I hate Dallas, because there are so many ways.
But it's kind of like how I mentioned on Birdman Show earlier. Like this week, especially being the last game of the season, it usually has more meaning to it. There's usually some kind of implication. And like I mentioned, it's kind of like when you were in high school, you had a rivalry week. Every day was something different. You're going back at the opposing, players talking junk. We don't really have it for this game. We already know what it is. We're trying to rest everyone. We don't really care if we win or lose this game. If we beat Dallas with backups, that's great. We can just throw that in Dallas fans' face. But again, it's not really that important. So it doesn't have the normal feel of a Dallas, especially at the end of the year game. It's just a run-of-the-mill another week. Because if you think about it, on Sunday, what are we all doing? It's just like a bye week. We're just watching everyone else's games.
Well, and not just that, man, but think of the freaking morale drop that Dallas is going to have if they lose to our backups.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go into next following week and play us again, and you got to play our starters. That's just hurtful in itself. You know what I mean? So,
dang, it's gonna be cold as hell in Philly.
I think it's gonna snow too, because I think we should have snow tomorrow over here, about 4 inches.
Wow.
So yeah, they should have a nice day. Hope those boys are dressed warmly.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow Thursday and Friday, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about that. Hey, don't even clean the field. I love it. When we played against Detroit, don't even clean the field.
Right?
Them Florida boys don't like the cold. Yeah, man. Let's do it like that then.
I don't know if I don't
They
know.
have an open field for a reason.
Lots of prayers to Jay Boog's neighbor. Definitely, I guess his neighbor's house burned down. So.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out, man. Hope everyone's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, thinking back to that snow game, I don't think I've ever seen, and I mean, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, obviously, but I don't know if I've ever seen a running back dominate the way McCoy dominated that day. I mean, he looked like he was on, like everybody else was on skates, and he was, or everybody else was not on skates, and he was.
I call him the snow piercer. He was killing it that day. There's nothing that could stop him. There were Detroit Lions just falling at his feet. It was awesome. It's just like you said. It was like it's kind of like when you play a pickup game. Everybody got shoes on, but this one kid got cleats. like he's serious about this. That's how I was like.
Listen, man, I actually got the privilege to play against McCoy in high school. I played him in state championship game here in Pennsylvania back when he was a senior. His senior year, at the beginning of the year, he broke his leg, and he did not play all year long. And then he comes back, and his very first game back is that state championship game against my team. And unfortunately, I can honestly sit here and say he stomped the shit out of us. And when I say he, I only speak he in general because he had 350 yards and 3 tutties on us. Yo, we were chasing this dude's ass all fucking night long. And all you saw him do is run right fucking by. There was nothing you could do. He is truly a video game type athlete, dude. Like his change of direction is remarkable. I've never seen anything like it. And even at a young age, dude, seeing what he was able to do, I can only imagine the hell he unleashed out there when he got older. You know what I mean? Like, he was a phenomenal athlete. Truly was.
One of the biggest tragedies that this team ever experienced is the fact that he wasn't able to have most of his career or all of his career as an Eagle. You know, that Chip Kelly regime, it hurt a lot, like Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin. It affected that whole class.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That is. What's going on, William? We appreciate you. Said Grebo, give me the playoff win. Yes, yeah, absolutely. You want to win when it matters, the absolute most. You know, the NFC East could be up for grabs this weekend, and if we want, it would still matter more to beat them in the playoffs. It really would.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I'm cool giving up the battle. I just want to win the war.
Right. Exactly. Well, perfectly said, Vic. Perfectly said. Yeah, perfect football weather. Absolutely, further. Absolutely.
Yep.
I really hope it's cold. Like, it's unbearably cold. The snow is out there. People are just throwing it all around because they're trying to clean the streets. Oh, come on, man. It's playoff football in Philly. Let's go.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough, though. You know, because obviously, if we play them in the playoffs, it's gonna be in Dallas. So you know, it's never easy to win there. Always tough, but we'll see. I hope we do. I hope we do, and we beat them. That would be an absolute. We could lose the next round, and that season would be an absolute wonderful achievement, in my opinion, because we didn't expect any of this. You know, we were supposed to be rebuilding this year. We weren't supposed to be, competing and making the playoffs. So, we've made a lot of people eat some crow. That's for sure. This year.
I think the best part of this is coming into this season. We said about like our receiving corps, how inexperienced they are. Our running backs, pretty much, we were good with Miles, but after that, pretty much inexperienced. Then when you look at the quarterback, inexperienced. But now when we're going into next year, we're going to have a team that had a great season and has playoff experience. Mm-hmm. Everyone, I'm saying they just stepped up a level. Now hopefully their play can be elevated to that level also and stay there. But yeah, man, going forward, looking into next season, man, this team's going to be hot. You can't tell me. We got to have a good draft. I hope we don't dabble too much in the free agency. We don't need any more contracts. We're good the way we are. But yeah, like, we're getting good experience, and I hope that this team can be like what Peter Schlegel says, one of these teams that can go deep into the playoffs, can disrupt a lot of teams that teams are going to be scared of because of our rushing attack. And I hope we get Miles back because, we're going to need him. We're going to need all hands on deck.
Yo, no lie, man, and you make a valid point there because we are rebuilding and we made the playoffs, which is awesome. And if you look at our salary cap, 50-60 million next year, and because of our success that we've had, it shows a winning culture because we went from 4-12 to now 9-7, so we're winning more games. Yes, I understand there are people out there who do not like Howie Roseman, but when you look at this roster and what they've achieved this year, you're going to be able to pull some veteran free agents like Allen Robinson or Mike Williams or Chris Godwin because of the fact they see the improvement, they see the winning culture and the young talent. It's going to drive that vet talent here. So I really look forward to seeing what we do in free agency as well, because I don't think it matters how much you hate one person, whether that's Howie or Jeffrey. if they know that coming here will get them a Super Bowl ring, I'm sure anyone will, despite the lack of how much they like someone. If that makes any
This
sense.
It makes perfect sense because I attribute like our situation with Howie the same way Yankees fan attribute their situation with Brian Cashman. You mean because like I'm a Yankees fan and I know even though when we were winning those championships, every Yankee fan still hated Brian Cashman. We still see him as a weasel. We still see him as a scum of the earth. But at the end of the day, he brought championships. We let it go. Right now,
Yeah.
you know, like there's an uproar. You see they're not winning. You know, they want him out. But again, it's the same situation. Nothing's going to change because the ownership doesn't make any changes. So nothing's going to happen. You got to trust in that guy, and his track record kind of proves itself. I don't like Howie. I wish we can get a better GM in here. But again, I don't own the team. I can't make any decisions. That's up to Jeffrey Lurie. And right now, he's sticking with Howie Roseman. So I just got to shut up and go with it.
Here's the thing, though, man. When I look at Howie, I listen. This is a fine line to walk, with Howie, because it is very split. Well, not very split, but there is people out there who believe he's an okay GM. There is some negatives. Oh, my bad, Steven. Prayers out to you and your family.
Thoughts and prayers, my guy.
Sorry to hear that, Joy.
To you and your family.
But there is some people out there who give him credit for what he does good, and there is some out there, and they also give him the bad credit as well. But there is some out there who just entirely don't want nothing to do with him anymore. Okay, I look at it in this way. I am one of those people who I do not like the man. If he got fired tomorrow, I would not shed one tear. Okay, but I also give him the credit for what he does right. Not just on the negatives that he does. We go to the J Jaw, we go to the Jefferson pick, and the DK thing, and all the bad things he's done. Okay, but yet he's also done some good things, and I will not discredit him for that as well. And not just that, but this team being in the playoffs this year, you have to give him some credit for that. That speaks highly of a man who can sit here and take the shit that he takes from all of us fans, and yet somehow, some way, build this team and figure out how to sneak in. And they did, and he deserves that credit as well. I'm not one to shut the door on firing him down the line, but as far as right now, I guess one more. Because he's shown me and proven to me that he can do some good things, and I believe we all need to give him that credit. He does do some good things, but he's got to stop with the stupid reaching shit. Like, no lie, man. The reaching on picks has got to stop. Just take best available. Stop trying to think outside the box and be smarter than people. Just do what's right, and everyone will stop hating him.
Right.
Focus on linebacker. Make that a priority. We've seen how much it affects our team.
Sorry about that, right? My bad.
I can kind of get with what AK was saying because, he so far so good with this past draft. Give him another opportunity. Right. Past two. You're right. I have to give him credit. You're right about that because the one previous to 2021 was good as well. So, yeah, let him start stringing some together. Maybe he's learning. Maybe he's growing as a draft selector, as a talent evaluator, however you want to title you want to give him. But I think he's definitely earned another year. What do you think, Vic?
Yeah, well, when you look at this year, as we discussed, from a 4-12 team to now a 9-7 team, you see the progression. We talked about the two draft classes. Right now, those two draft classes are the reason why we are where we are today. We're talking about Jalen Watkins. We're talking about Jalen Reagor. Yeah, a lot of people talk about him. He's had a decent year. We're talking about Jalen Hurts. And when you look at this year, we got Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying? He's brought in quality players. He's brought in our starters. Those are the guys that we're looking to for the future. Now we're hoping this draft he can hit it out the park again. Because if he does, we're set up again. We're a young team. Hey, we have the experience. We just discussed that. And if we have all the right pieces, it's going to be scary for years to come.
JC.
So you got to give credit to the guy who set that up, and that's Howie.
All right, now I got to ask you guys something. Would you be pissed if this man takes our 25th round pick and he trades our 25th out of the first round or whatever? He trades it away, just in general, for maybe like a next year first or, whatever he gets for it. All right, and then he takes the 2 picks that we have and moves up and say he gets, I don't know, we'll just throw Kyle Hamilton out there just for a hypothetical, just because, it is what it is. Are you guys okay with that, only coming away with 1 player in the first round, especially if it's like that?
I'm a little biased on that because me and my affinity with Kyle Hamilton.
I know. All right.
But it would be smart for this. I'll give you credit for this, though. The fact that he took one of those first-round picks and moved it down to next year. That's very smart because next year's draft class is extremely talented. So, yeah, I would okay that because, again, you're getting a lot of good talent next season. You got a good basis this year. You build a lot. Again, we're only talking about the first round. We're not talking about him giving up second, third, fourth round, fifth picks. We're only talking about the first. So, again, you still come away in 1 good player in the first round. That's what you kind of hope for. You're hoping for that 1 knock out the park. Kyle Hamilton is that guy that will knock it out the park. So if you gave up a draft pick that you didn't have, you acquired it from another team, you're not really giving up much to get the guy for the future, say 7 to 10 years. And then, again, like I just said, you kicked another pick till next year. Makes perfect sense. But again, my bias with Kyle Hamilton.
If you're getting a generational talent, which I think Kyle Hamilton is going to be, then I'm good with that because, like Vic said, you're building for the future. It's not like you're giving. It's not like the same deal as, trading for a Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson. That's a dumb move in my opinion. If you move up in the draft and give away a couple of draft or a first round pick this year and gain a pick or 2 next year, that works for me. Because you're building again through the draft in the future. So it's all going to work out definitely. I want to give a shout out to Coach Dante for checking in. What's going on, Coach Dante? He always shouts me out when I check in on his channel. Yes, sir.
No, the only reason that is because you're always going to have those people out there that are going to be like, bro, why would you do that? You can 3.
Listen, I think Howie Roseman needs to get a relationship with the Lions. Howie Roseman needs to start building a relationship with the Lions right now. I know they have the second pick of the draft. Get that going. Package up 2 of those picks. Make that move. I'm all for it. Especially if it's for Kyle Hamilton. Listen, I've said it all year. What are we going to do next season with our safety position? Yeah, we understand that McLeod had a couple of good games. Is that going to carry forward? Is that going to happen next year all year? Is that going to happen for the next 2-3 years? If not, make that move now. Because we have no one else other than McLeod to think about it.
Now, Richie, I would not be upset with that as well. If we actually got just David Ojabo, I think that's how you say it, right? Ojabo.
I say that 10 times fast.
Ojabo. Yeah, you can't do it. No, him, I'd be okay with that. We do need an edge rusher. We do need a linebacker, and he's kind of both. So
I like the kid of Cincinnati. I like a couple of kids from Cincinnati. I like Gardner also in the corner position. Cincinnati has some good talent on that defense, and I think we should take advantage of it.
I really like Jordan Davis, though, too, man. I do.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people discredit this draft and say that there isn't talent. There's a lot of talent in this draft.
Jordy Fighter and Papa Sword need to be in here. They could chime in with the good college draft prospects out there. But I wanted to answer Peyo's question real quick. How do you guys feel about the Eagles playing the Rams in the wild card round?
No. I'll let you go.
Hey, all I ask, my guy, is that if that happens, we link up.
Oh yeah,
That's all.
He should come on the East Meets West.
Yeah,
That Wednesday.
yeah, we come and talk it up because I want you to be here when you lose.
That caught me so off guard.
I think Darius Slay would more than welcome that challenge of playing Mr. Pick Six this year in Matthew Stafford. Vic 3, go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
I beg to differ. This team is coming together at this time. Odell Beckham is getting, better in this offense. Matthew Stafford's picking it up. They got Cam Akers back. This defense, Von Miller, they're all coming together. Let them stay away. I'd rather handle the Bucks.
Have you watched their last 2 games?
Yeah, still.
They barely beat the Vikings. They barely beat the Vikings, and they barely beat who? Who they just barely beat this past weekend?
You talking about the Bucks or the Rams?
The Rams.
Bro, get out of here. Maddox will eat Cooper Cup alive.
I just watched Odell when he played this past week when he got a couple of touchdowns.
Maddox will eat Cooper Cup alive and poop him out.
Well, I'll say this, though. We're talking about a Tampa Bay team that just had to go toe-to-toe with the Jets.
Okay.
What the fuck's that got to do with anything?
They lost their linebacker. They only have one of the 2 linebackers. They're injured on a defensive line. Tom Brady's frustrated all around. They just lost AB. They don't have their wide receivers that they had before. They can't trust on Mike Evans. I didn't hear it.
Oh, are you defending why it should be Tampa? My bad. I'm slow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Why? What did you think I was saying?
I don't fucking know.
He was like, I don't even know.
I was so fucking lost, dude. I was like, why are we talking about Tampa right now?
No, I think that it would best be suited if we get to play them first. They would be a better matchup for us. And like I said, we all know how Tom Brady works. Create that pressure. And that was one of our biggest problems all season.
Too, my guy. It's much love.
You were just like,
just talking my shit.
I'm gonna disagree with you to disagree.
Right?
Well, who was it that the Reds were playing though? Who was it that they were just playing?
Who?
I was it the Broncos, but I'm probably wrong.
Who?
No, it was the. I think it was the Seahawks, wasn't it?
Who?
No, the Seahawks. I think it was the Seahawks. No. Who did the Rams play?
Let me see. I'm going to pull up their schedule right now. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I was watching it too because I'm watching Von Miller got like 2 sacks. Odell got the touchdown.
Yeah.
They got Cam Akers.
They barely beat.
Was it an AFC team?
They barely. It was an AFC team. The wounded as hell the Baltimore Ravens. They beat them 20-19.
Hey, Ravens got a decent defense. It's just their offense is crapola.
And the Rams, you got to remember, they got helped out in the Vikings game. They had that punt return. I believe it was the punt return for a touchdown. So they had a special teams touchdown. I mean, yeah, they're like you said, they're putting some things together, but they definitely haven't looked unbeatable. Let me put it that way. This last couple of weeks, I think the Eagles could not easily, but I could see it happening. I could see us going into LA and beating the Rams in their home field.
But if we play against Tampa, I believe the Cowboys would have to play against the Rams, and they would have to play at SoFi.
I heard your wife in the background. When you said Cowboys, I heard her say, laugh.
Oh, I told her earlier about Parsons. She wasn't happy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What happened to What do you mean Parsons? What?
He's on the
COVID list.
Oh, is he?
Since they just reported him today, there's no way that he can make it in the 5-day span, so he's out the game.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, you brought up the Bucks and the obviously we know the drama that took place this past week, so that reminded me of the question I wanted to post, to present to you guys and to the chat. What do you guys feel about the possibility when he gets released? Because for the second day in a row, as far as I know, he has not been released by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they definitely hold his rights right now, and I think they know that. I don't think they want another team like the Cowboys, who just lost Michael Gallup as well. He had torn ACL, so they're gonna be looking possibly to add a receiver. I don't know. We'll see. But what are your guys' thoughts? I'll let AK go first.
No.
Final answer?
That's my answer. No. Listen, man. I don't care. I really don't care what his reason was. I do not care what at all went wrong. That was very unprofessional. In all many levels. Very unprofessional. We have way too much going on this. I know what kind of upgrade he would be. Do not get me wrong. Upgrade that he would be. But he is the distraction we don't need. And that's the best way I can say it.
Got you. Vic, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what AK says, and you got to think about it this way too. Like we just said, we have a very young, wide receiving core. They're very impressionable at this time. Do you want someone like Antonio coming through and showing him that's how a professional should be? That's how a professional should act? I don't think so. And I understand, the situation in Tampa. Let's be honest. Bruce Arians, he was an ass in the beginning. You could tell he didn't want Antonio on that team. It was only because of Tom Brady. And he said it from the beginning. First incident, first sign of trouble, he's gone. He already put that in the mindset. We all know that Antonio Brown has more issues that that can be talked about just within this short time in this show. Those are things that he needs to take help. Needs to seek help with. He needs to take care of, and that's affecting his professional career. Just like AK said, that's not the way you act in the professional game. I understand if you felt injured, you don't think you needed to be there, then why'd you show up to begin with? It wasn't like they said they were going to fire you. If you didn't care, the way you showed in that game, you just threw off your pads, you walked around. It tells me you didn't care if you were there or not. So what was the point of showing up? You should just came out and had a doctor sent over just like you would normally. Say, hey, Antonio can't because of his ankle. He's unable to perform. That doctor's note or that doctor saying that trumps everything because once the NFL hears that, there's no reason to have a player playing. If a doctor says he can't play, there's no reason for a team to force that on the player. That's the route Antonio should have took. What he did was he wanted to put attention on himself. He ran out. He was showing himself in the field. I don't want that on my team. I don't want that potential to be on my team. Someone just to blow up on the sidelines while we're up and then all of a sudden our team's getting distracted. No, thank you. Antonio Brown does this to himself, and I understand there's a lot against him. But again, he puts a lot of it on him by the way he acts. Again, you don't have to be the guy that's out there saying everything. You could be quiet and, take care of it on the back end. Again, team business is team business. There's no reason to display it in front of the world.
Like, no lie, man. Let me tell you how serious I am about this. I will take JJ Arcega-Whiteside over AB. And that says a lot coming from me. And you know that.
Yeah, it does. Damn. Okay. I know where you stand now. Definitely.
I mean, he's a fabulous talent. Do not get me wrong.
Right.
The dude can play football. But you being good at football does not over-trump your actions. I don't care who you are.
Right.
I just hope, how they say, like, a lot of the things they do in the NFL, they do it so kids don't emulate. I hope these kids are watching them and understand that's how you lose millions of dollars. That's how you lose your career, by acting like that. Just because you're talented, don't mean you can't lose your position. Look at Josh Gordon. Very talented. But, he has issues. If you don't take care of what you need to, you're not going to play. So you can have all the talent in the world. What happens after football? What do you have to back yourself up with? Not much, right? Because all you did was focus on football. So be smart about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there's any might about it, Drew Johnson. I guarantee you he has some form of CTE because his behavior has gone AWOL ever since he took that hit from Perfect. Ever since he took that shot across the middle, his behavior has gone AWOL. And yes, some people like to say, "Oh, he's narcissistic," and you can't. He tries to use the mental, or his camp or whoever trying to use that mental instability as an excuse. Well, you know what? You have to take it into account because CTE, mental instability, mental issues like that can affect your behavior. It could affect everything. So, narcissism could just be a part of the package. You know what I mean? So definitely, I hope first and foremost that AB, maybe steps away from the game for a little while and really tries to seek out some help, because I think the guy really, really needs to get some, and thoughts and prayers are out to him. I know I agree with AK. What he did was absolutely unprofessional, and he should have never have done that, especially being a veteran player. He should know better. He's obviously doing it for the, for the ratings, for the clicks, for all that. It's all clickbait for him, but he's a talented guy. He really is, but is he worth it? Probably not in the short term. I mean, he could maybe benefit us a little bit, but the risk is probably going to be, and the damage, that he can maybe do along the way to some of our younger guys, probably wouldn't be worth the reward. It just wouldn't.
And bro, how long have I told you about that perfect thing? I've been saying that shit for a long time, pretty much.
But didn't Burfict knock him out twice?
Well,
the bad one. I mean, the one in
the playoffs, the bad one, the wild card game one,
the one where he damn near took his head off.
That's the one where Juju got him back like the next year, right? Juju ended up knocking out Burfict.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, man. When you look at Antonio Brown, you don't hear jack shit, nothing about this guy. No negatives, no nothing. He's not dysfunctional. He doesn't not get along with people. You don't hear anything. Excuse me. Yeah, you might. Yeah, you might sit there and obviously egos altercate sometimes, but hey, that's a locker room. When you have an ego like Big Ben, AB, and Bell, some shit's going to get feisty sometimes because they all three made the Steelers. Okay, truly, they did. But you don't hear about difficulties with him. And then right after Burfict hits him the following year, you start seeing shit go downhill a little bit. That next off season after that hit, you start seeing a little bit of it. And then next thing you know, he's shipped out to the Raiders. And then he flips over a fucking helmet. A helmet. Like, what? Are you shitting me? Dude, like, everything has went downhill since that hit. And that's something the NFL needs to look at. Because, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, he has never had an issue prior to that hit.
Yeah. It's sad. It really is, because, he's got to be able to realize that he needs help. And I don't know. I don't know if that's going to take place, because he's the only one that can, he's the only one that can help himself.
But the thing is, when you have CTE, how can it be that he's the only one that can help himself? He can't help himself. His mind is, just shattered. I feel like the NFL really needs to step in with a lot of these players, because, there was some player, I think, last year that, I think he committed suicide. I think he murdered his family, committed suicide. They just found out he had CTE. But they were called, there were signs beforehand. There were times where he was talking to coaches. The NFL never stepped in. Right now they're talking about Antonio Brown as he's a problem. He could, very well be that. But also at the same time, why is he such a problem? What led that? Again, you got to look into this. The NFL always talks about caring about players, and now they're focused on CTE. They don't want you hit in certain ways. But what are you doing for the actual players once they are affected by this? Because I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anyone trying to look into it, for them to try to give any counseling, nothing.
Well, Vic, and even you might be able to help me with this, because my mind's a little fuzzy right now about it, because I can't. It's been so long. But what was I think it was a documentary, and it was based off the early 80s with the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive linemen. You had a couple of dudes that actually lived in broken cars in the middle of the city, and they were living there and they literally were pissing and shitting themselves every day because they didn't know who they were, where they were. They didn't know they had a family and a beautiful home to go to, because they were just so messed up.
Yep.
Well, was that the concussion movie?
I don't know if they were specifically focused on concussion.
But dude, it's like that shit's real, bro.
Yeah.
And these are actual Pittsburgh Steelers offensive linemen, living in abandoned cars, forgetting who they are. That's some serious shit.
I think they said there was they were talking
Nothing
about like
pain,
players.
things like that, because they just try to kill the pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about before like how players, survive now compared to before, and how they say they have social media. But there was one player, I don't remember who it was for Pittsburgh. And you mentioned that.
It's
He
right there,
literally
Mike.
like, had,
Mike
was
Webster.
it Mike? Was it him? Was he the one
Yeah.
with the gun and was like
Yeah.
going crazy and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, like you never even
Yeah.
hear about that. They kept that quiet. Again, what are you doing for the players that are actually, going and suffering through this? I mean, that's what they are. They're suffering. And you got to understand when you're getting a concussion, that means your brain is moving around in your skull, just like a peanut moving around. And the thing is, it doesn't stop. We saw this year the Chargers play on Thursday Night Football, the wide receiver Gaten. You saw how bad that was. You saw him going into the locker room. His arms are still shaking. His arms are still shaking because literally his brain is still shaking around in his head. His body hasn't even got time to reset itself. Do you know how crazy that sounds right now? And I understand football is a physical sport, but right now going forward, what is the
You're
NFL
saying
going to do for that young man? Yeah, well, but what is the NFL going to do for that young man going forward? We've seen what happened. You know there's going to be an after effect. What are we doing for him now? I guarantee you nothing for right now, other than the fact that we're waiting for him to come back off concussion protocol.
Like no lie, bro. You make up a valid point. I mean, look at it this way. You saw that hit a couple weeks back that Teddy Bridgewater took. We thought we literally were watching a dead guy on the field.
Yep.
Like he was not moving. And then I was like, yo, it's got to be like his back, his neck, or something. Like, dude did not move. And then you come to find out, oh, it was a concussion. Well, guess what? If you don't think that concussion right there that he just had is going to fuck him up, you're completely wrong. That was probably the nastiest knock. I swear to God, he was paralyzed, bro. Like he fell in such a weird way. His body just went limp. I was like, oh my God. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So,
It's crazy. Like I said, the NFL has to focus on these players now, not after the fact. Not doing tests on their brain after they died or they've done something. Like you mentioned before, Junior Seau. Junior Seau was one of the nicest players, just the nicest gentleman ever to walk this earth. A lot of people they can't say a bad word about him, but there was a point in time before he passed where he wasn't himself. He was constantly having arguments with his daughters, yelling at them, yelling at his ex-wife. They knew something was wrong with him. A couple of days later, he kills himself. No one was there to help him. These were things that he was talking about when he was in New England. How there were things that he couldn't remember. No one ever said, "Hey, maybe we should see someone. Maybe we should sit down. Maybe we should take a week off." That never came about. And look at where the guy's at now. Now he's a test subject, which is very sad and it's unfortunate. But again, we already said it. The NFL's only focused on one thing, and that's about the income. These 32 owners, that's it. What they care about is the only thing that the NFL will care about. The NFL are these 32 owners. What their mindset is on right now is profits. That's it. Not the safety of the players, not what happens after the fact, after the game, not what happens to the kids before the game. They only care about the profits and what they're getting right now.
and no lie, I might be mistaken on this as well, but this isn't football, but I believe it was CTE too. Well, wasn't Chris Benoit CTE?
Yep. Chris Benoit was a lot of see, but also too, he took what is that called? When you get jacked up, steroids.
Yeah, but I mean, his mental collapse, though, that was caused by CTE, though.
They said he had the brain of like an 85-year-old man.
Yeah,
And, they were to examine.
That story was.
Man, that's a lethal concoction. When you have
right
CTE and you're taking steroids, that's rage upon rage, rage on, you know what I'm saying, like unknowing rage, and we all know the outcome. What's good, BLSG?
What's going on, BLSG?
Were you sitting down like that for the ladies? Was that for the ladies right now?
Nah, bro. But what's good, everybody? How we all doing tonight, man?
What's good, my guy?
Good.
We're preparing for that Dallas game, baby. Let's go. I don't care who's in. I don't care who's out. I don't care if it's the stars. I don't care if it's the backups. I just want to beat Dallas after what they did to us the first time in Jerry World. That's all I care about right now.
Yep, I agree with it. I respect the energy.
I like it too. Definitely.
I triple like it.
Sure.
So, SG, how are you feeling about the starters playing this weekend? What are your thoughts?
I feel like they shouldn't play because, like y'all were saying before, we want to go into the playoffs as healthy as possible. We want to have everybody in. We don't want to have anybody injured. We want to go into the playoffs as healthy as we possibly can because we don't know who we're going to be playing. Are we going to be playing the Buccaneers? Are we going to be playing the Rams? Are we going to be playing this team? Are we going to be playing that team? We don't know who we're up against. But whoever we're up against, we're going to be up against a solid team. So we want to have everybody in for a tough matchup and hopefully a good matchup. And like I was saying before, our rushing attack, currently best in the league right now. That's what will haunt teams if we keep up what we're doing and averaging 160, somewhere in the 160s per game. If we can keep doing that, we can have a scary rushing attack and we can just do our thing. And if we can execute as well, like y'all were saying before, we could prove some teams wrong in the playoffs.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree with you. We got Wolfman in the building. What's going on, Wolfman? Oh, no, he's gone.
And he left. Probably disconnected. In and out.
Yep. So, when are the Sixers going to trade Ben Simmons?
I don't need Ben Simmons in Philly. He can stay in his little mansion in Los Angeles. But when he gets traded, I want him to either go to the Celtics, the Knicks, or the Lakers.
The
Go
Celtics?
by the retirement home. One of the teams that I hate the most in the Boston Celtics and the Knicks, just to piss all those Knicks fans off.
No. I'm all about selling to Sacramento. Please give me Buddy Hield.
Hey, I'll take. You know what? I'll do that deal right now. Hey, you want to give me Ben Simmons for Buddy Hield? Straight up, I'll sign the papers right now. We send him over.
Buddy doesn't have his heart in the game. He's feeling lost in Sacramento.
All Buddy does is shoot, and he's not been that good as of late. That's all he does.
But we need a good shooter. Again, Ben, I don't care for Ben. Neither is Ben. That's why I find it fair. I'm not trying to beat you over the head for the deal. I'm just trying to get him out of here.
Hey, I hear you. Same here. I'll do that deal all day.
I don't want him going to the team and being successful. No, I want to go into purgatory. Just stay in limbo.
That's where I want him to go.
I'll take a starting five that includes De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, and Ben Simmons. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, but the
and then Alex Glenn is your center.
You are stingy.
Hey, don't sleep on Lenny. Lenny can ball.
Yeah.
Look at me talking Kings talk.
That count, stand up.
Speaking of the Kings, I'm going to that Philadelphia 76ers Sacramento Kings game at the end of the month on January 29th.
That's cool.
Oh,
I'm going to that game.
There's I go from the 530, another West Coast big time Eagles fan. Good friend of me and Birdman _951. Yeah. What's going on, Yee? Appreciate you checking in. But he said, Ben who? Gio said, Ben who?
That's right. There's no Ben.
We were trying to meet up to go to a Sixers game in February, but it's getting hairy right now with this
COVID
19.
Right.
Yeah, man.
One Trey Rock's in the building. What's going on, Rock?
Yo, great.
That's our guy,
man.
What's going
on, One Trey Rock?
We gotta stay cool with that. We gotta be consistent with the weekly pick. Oh my God, I told you.
Right.
And the late night in the cave too.
Like the end of the year is coming through. It's the worst part of the year is that dry spell when you got nothing going on. You gotta wait for the draft. Listen, we need these pick'ems.
Sure, Buddy Hield's like that.
Yeah, his value is only going to go. His price is not only going to go up so high because then he's going to start missing again. It's going to start falling. So
I've been digging that Buddy Hield drum for the past 2 seasons, man. It's ridiculous.
Jay Mills said, "How far are you from Sacramento Foothills?" I am about 20 minutes. About 20 minutes. Yep, I'm right off the freeway too. So I could be in Sac in 20 minutes.
What is his name? Kevin Smith? Was it Kevin Smith? The point guard for the Suns? Wasn't he like the mayor up there?
Oh yeah. No, you're talking about. You're talking about.
It's Chris Paul, the point guard, right?
No, no,
No.
no, no. He used to play for the
He's
Suns.
talking. Yeah, he's talking about the guy that played with Charles Barkley. He's talking about
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking back then. I thought you were talking about right now.
Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson. I said Kevin
Yeah,
Smith.
I
Yeah,
had to
Kevin
think the name in
Johnson.
my head real quick. Yeah, Kevin
Is he still
Johnson.
the mayor up there or no? He don't do that no more.
No, not anymore. No.
That was a good look for y'all.
Milton.
What's going on, Jay Mill?
What's
No,
going
it's
on,
good.
fellas? What's going on?
Was good.
Appreciate you hopping on with
coming
us.
through.
Oh, you
Sir.
already know.
My guy. So how you feeling, Jay? What are your thoughts? Going into week 18. Like I said in the description, that still sounds weird to say it, doesn't it, guys? Week 18.
No,
Doesn't
it
come out
feels
the
like
mouth.
the start of the NFL season was like just yesterday.
It did go by fast.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it
like
Always
week
does.
18, like for teams that are like in the playoffs and good, that's like your, second or third preseason game. You know what I'm saying? So play the guys that you want to see something out of, but save the rest of, save your bulk, your core for what you need them for. You know what I mean? The games and the wins and the stats that are going to count. We're already solidified. I mean, 6 would be cool, but it's nothing wrong with 7. You know what I mean? Like, we were not supposed to be here. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? We're supposed to be 3 and
Everybody
whatever,
doubted in us.
top 5 draft pick. Look at us now in the playoffs with 3 first-round picks. Holla at me.
Yeah.
And everybody doubted us. Everybody doubted us. The media, pretty much every team in the NFL, everybody doubted us. And look where we are now.
Can we take
With
time to
essentially a
just
rookie head coach and
Let's not
basically
even. Let's not even go back and look at. Let's not even go back and look at. What's his
Sims?
name? Yeah, let's not even go back and look at his quarterback rankings exactly.
That's
Because
what I was saying. Can we just talk about him real quick? Let's just crap on him for a little bit. Yeah.
speak on it, Vic.
I
Vic.
left him a little message when he said, that was one of the biggest L's he's taken. And I told him the biggest L you've ever taken in your career was the fact that you had a career, my guy. Like, it's amazing that you were able to play for the Bucks. That's why you almost lost the spleen. You weren't that good. Like, his decision making was off. I'm trying to remember. Case Keenum was one of the guys. Jordan Love was another guy. We're talking about guys who don't even start. He didn't even have Jalen listed. That's just massive disrespect. He could have put him in the late 20s, just to put him in there because he was a starter. He saw those first 4 games. But no, he just thought it would be better off to leave him off the list. And now he's just been eating crow the whole time. And to me, like, I wouldn't find it funny because it discredits him. It shows him that he doesn't know about football. Just like I said, about his career. He couldn't play well, doesn't really know much on the comment on football. I don't even know why people even take anything he has to say serious.
I missed who you were talking about, but the more you started talking, the first name that came up was Chris Sims. Is that right?
The daddy's boy. Hey, the only reason why let's talk about it. The only reason why he started.
So look, it was funny. I was reading an article on CBS today, and they re-ranked the quarterbacks that got drafted with Jalen Hurts. And I was going there. I started at 8. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Why they put Hurts at 5? I'm like, oh, okay. They had Joe Burrow. Okay. Justin Herbert. And then Tua. I was like, not really. I don't really. Nah, I'd rather take Hurts. And I forgot who else they had above him. Oh, yeah, they had Jordan Love above him. I was like, he hasn't even played.
Jordan Love?
Yes, they had Jordan Love at 4 and Hurts at 5. Once I saw that, I just stopped reading the article. I said, I don't need to read no more.
Yeah. X out of that mug. X out of that mug real quick. Yep.
Okay, so final thought, Chris Sims, your mother should have swallowed you.
Oh.
Ooh, burn.
Oh, get roasted.
Yo, AK with the walk-off. Just comes back with
it's
the
not even the
banger.
ninth inning yet. You already hit the top part.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
somebody get Mrs. Sims a napkin.
Listen, Daddy's boy, again, that's what I'm saying. The only reason why he started at
Was that too soon? I apologize.
Nah. She should have. Damn you, Margaret. Damn you.
Hey, listen, I got a question for you guys. Like, with all this, crazy COVID stuff going on, I feel that, Jeffrey Lurie needs to work his magic and rent out like 3 floors to a hotel to keep everybody there. You know, if you want to bring your wife and kids, tell them you can't leave until we leave. You know what I'm saying? You're in this hotel room with us or you're going to stay home. It's just that simple because, you know, they have to understand this is still part of the their work time. You know what I'm saying? This isn't their time off. You know what I mean? This is still part of them coming to work. You know, we still got a goal to accomplish. And then once we're done, you can go and do whatever it is you want. You know, that's your off time. You earned that.
I think that's smart, especially now when you think about the playoffs. You don't have that many teams. It's not like you're really doing the whole NFL. You're focusing on people in the playoffs, kind of like what the NBA did. Now, I hope the NFL treats those players a lot better and not give them, microwavable meals as they were given before. Give these people real meals. If they're going to have their family over, you got to treat it like it's your own family. You're going to want to have them have the same kind of dinner, same kind of breakfast. Want to take care of them the same as if they are family. You don't just want to throw them in a hotel room and be like, that's it. I think that's a very smart move. And listen, every day we're hearing more and more people, getting affected by this. This is the first time all season that we've had this many players, just struck at one time. You got to think about it going forward.
Hey, I don't know how long that this 19 is going to be around, and how many variants we're going to have and all that. But it just got me thinking. What would you guys say? And I don't know where you would do it. I don't know how you would do it. But, we could also, somehow figure out a complex right there somewhere around to where, it's a place where only our players can access, and it's a place for them to live during the football season. So it's kind of like an on-campus hotel, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Disney has.
Man, that's a great idea.
27 football fields.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not gonna lie.
Their sports complex is ridiculous.
Make a complex like they have in The Walking Dead. Just surrounded with 20-foot fences and keep the COVID out.
You see the fans just like the dead trying to creep in.
Yeah. And hopefully they built it better than What the Fuck Stadium, and the railing doesn't fall apart.
Man, listen,
right.
I'm no architect, and I could build something more secure than that.
That's right. And listen, it's no longer WFT. It's WTF Stadium.
You would even think like some chicken wire, just throw something up in there. Nothing.
Bro, I'm telling you, duct tape would have hold.
Definitely.
The final straw for me with their stadium
bars.
was when they were spilling raw sewage. I'm like, oh yeah, y'all can just go ahead and shut this down.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not healthy.
When you're getting hit by something, when you're watching the same thing as what is falling on you, that's bad. That's absolutely bad.
And not just that, man, but y'all are called Washington. You're supposed to be sitting there representing our capital and stuff. You're in DC there. They should have one of the nicest stadiums. No lie, because that
should be a government-funded fucking stadium, state of the art.
They have the opposite of one of the nicest stadiums.
It's crazy because when you look at that whole area, it's close to Baltimore. They got a nice thing, the aquarium. You got that area, and you go to DC, and it's just you got the same stadium you had since like the 70s. Like, come on, man.
How a lot of stadiums rent out their space when they're not playing games? I wonder if anyone rents out the FedEx Field.
Probably not, because they seen the zip ties. They're like, nah, we're good.
Poop Emoji Stadium.
Is it Gio saying it's going to be the Red Hogs? I haven't heard that name.
Washington Red Hogs.
It kind of makes sense though.
Yeah. Why that makes sense? That's what happens when you cook a hog over the fucking fire. It gets toasted.
Right.
Well, what's going to be like their logo? Kind of like what Arkansas is. They have the Razorbacks.
Yeah, but only they're going to have a fake fire, and he's going to be zip tied to a fucking turner, and they're going to roast him.
I never even thought of the Red Hogs. Whoever did, that's pretty smart.
Yeah. Obviously they had the Hog Nation.
Exactly.
Back in the
It fits. It fits. A lot of people were saying, what was it? The admirals, the commanders, the red tails.
What was the
But
Red Tails? That was the one you were saying earlier with Birdman. Yeah, I didn't heard that
We'll
one
say
yet.
the Sentinels are the best.
yeah, for me, red tails that's my favorite one. I hope that one works. But yeah, red hogs, I think that's pretty cool too. But they already, like I said, they already released like portions of the new uniform and the helmet. They already know it's going to be a matted color, so no matter what, it's going to be like that matted. Forgot who else has those helmets. Oh man, I forgot. Someone else has matted helmets. Oh, the Vikings.
With the number
I
on their
don't-
helmet, they look like a college team with the number on their helmet.
Yeah.
I really don't care, bro, what they're going to name themselves. It's going to be stupid as shit, and they're still going to play like shit. Just because you get a new team name and you get a little new different design, you're still fucking suck.
Yeah.
Still got a piece of shit of an owner too. So yeah, good luck with that one.
That's for damn sure.
You can't fire him. He can't. He won't fire himself. So good luck with old Schneidi because he's a dirtbag.
It's crazy because we talked about it before. Like I said, it would be something unprecedented for the commissioner to take a team away. They did it in the NBA, they did it with the Clippers, but that's never been done in the NFL. And now more and more you're hearing there's an uproar, people calling for Dan Snyder to be removed. And it's only working against him that now you have this issue with the stadium. You're going through this investigation. Now John Gruden's involved because he's suing the Washington football team and the NFL. So with all this compounding stuff, how much can he handle? If the NFL's talking about you got to respect the shield, the shield comes first. That's everything against what they're saying. We got to remove the guy because he's bad for the shield.
I mean, he tried to. He recently there was the news that came out that he tried to block the public what was it, the district attorney from interviewing one of the ladies that was making allegations against him. So he's interfering with the investigation and stuff like that, which only makes him look even more guilty. Because if you were innocent, what are you going to interfere for?
But we
he's
all know in
guilty
this
as
country, if you got enough money, even if you are guilty, you'll be found innocent.
Oh, exactly.
Look at Donald Trump. That guy should be in jail. Why is he our president? He should have been. But hey, he's still moving around. That January 6th insurrection, all because of him. He's still moving around. If you got enough money, you can make moves.
I mean, a little over 100 years ago, if a president was to commit an act that he committed, they probably would have been hung.
It's called treason. Yeah, you should be shot right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's it's a sticky wicket for any fan of the team in Washington, whatever they're going to be called: Red Hogs, Commanders, Red Tails, Red Wolves. I mean, if they're going to be called the Red Wolves, we're going to call them the R Wolves, like we do with the T Wolves in basketball. I don't know. I like the Red Hogs. I think they should go with that.
I don't know. I like what I think. AK, you're the one that said it before, right? They should go with the Sentinels.
Yeah.
The Sentinels would be hard.
I would go retro, man, just to sit here and to also give a shout out to the movie, The Replacements. It not only honors that movie, but it was a cool ass name, man. So I would have went.
The Sentinels, the Shane Falcos. My personal favorite should be the Washington Lobbyists. But hey, that's just me.
That would be funny. Yeah.
Washington glasses.
How about the Washington
glasses and money in his hand. That's it. Just money in his hand with a senator in front of him.
The Washington settlements. So many lawsuits.
Oh.
The Washington settlement.
Oh, that'd be so rough.
The Washington retirement home. Oh wait, no, that's the Lakers.
The payoffs. The Washington payoffs.
The Imperialist. That was another one I liked.
Good one.
Steal your country.
The monuments. The Washington monuments.
That's funny. That one would be funny because I already know you can call them the dicks.
Washington president.
At this point, bro, let's just call them the Washington Zip Ties.
Yep.
The Washington, we don't care about safety.
Yeah.
Washington junk drawers.
But aren't they supposed to announce a new GM also? Because I know they got that PR firm. They're not going to stay around for a while. This whole thing, this unveiling, is so that
Listen to Miz.
they're going back to the team.
Yeah.
That's facts right there.
Yeah, it fits them. Yeah. Because weren't those the guys that dressed up like women and had the pig nose and stuff like that?
Yep.
Yeah, that fits them.
It does. It definitely does.
The Washington High Council.
Oh, I totally agree there further. There's going to be some pig in a blanket memes coming very shortly.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Hey, but you know what, though? Tailgates are going to be much better when we're playing against Washington. We're going to have some pigs roasting outside now out of the link.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be all kinds of – they're going to be cooking nothing but pig. They're going to be cooking bacon, ham. I mean, they're going to have the whole 9 yards, man.
Man, look, they gonna have more people
Big
showing
speed.
up trying to get a plate than trying to go inside and see the game. So yeah, man, I smelled that from down the block. I came up.
Well, I'll be taking my afternoon nap.
Yeah. I'll be having some Washington football fried rice, you know?
That sounds good.
All right.
The Washington Fried Chicken. Nah, I'm playing. They won't be called that in a million years.
What did Mizra say? As a Giants fan that's going through some dark times, I want to take my hat off to the Eagles for a season the most since he coming. Congrats on playoff spot. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yo, and shout out to Miz. If none of you guys know who he is a giant content creator, but you know what? He's one of the coolest dudes I've got to meet doing this. And, you know, they got a pretty good cast over there with the Blue Crew. So definitely go check them out. They are rival content creators, but, you know, as people, they're realistic and down to earth. And, you know, definitely go sub them up because they will be involved in the shit talking for years to come. So, you know, definitely you'll see us working with them all the time. So
yeah, definitely good dude. I was talking with him yesterday when I was on Joel's channel. Like again, they got passion and they're dealing with the same issues that we dealt with in the past. They're tired of their GM. They don't know what they're going to do with their coach. They don't know what's going on with their running back. They got a lot of issues. So you gotta kind of feel for them. Even though they're rivals, you know, you still got to respect the fandom. You know, we've been through some tough times and they're going through it right now.
Yeah. Oh wow, Jeff Bezos. I guess he could buy whatever he wants, damn near. So yeah, the football team
them.
that would be dropping the bucket.
Not them. They got a beef. You didn't know about that? Dan Snyder and Jeff Bezos got beef. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post.
But if the NFL pulls somewhat similar to they did that, the owner that got caught saying all that racist stuff in the NBA. If they pulled something similar to that and they forced Daniel Snyder to sell, then it doesn't matter. You know, he'd have to sell to the highest bidder, basically. So, you know, business, you have to swallow that shit and you take you shake the hand, you take care of business.
That's the big move everyone's waiting for the NFL to make, specifically Roger Goodell. Everyone wants to know if he would go against the hand that feeds him. That's basically what he'd be doing if he gets the team removed from Snyder's hands. Now, what do the other owners look at Goodell? You know, how would they see him? Would they want him around? We're talking about a man who's making $40 million a year. Does he want to rock that boat?
I think the NFL in general needs to take a step forward. You know, I believe us as a whole entire unit of 32 teams needs to take a step forward. You know, in kind the next generation of football, whether that be in a safety aspect, you know, with new helmets, whether that be, you know, retro, cool ass looking uniforms, you know, whatever it may be, we need to bring a little bit more zazz to football, so to speak, you know. I don't know, man. I just feel we needed a little change of direction. And, you can kind of see us progressing. We have those 8K cameras now and shit. But, bringing somebody like Jeff Benzo in who does have unlimited amounts of money, he's a technology guy. He could bring in some pretty fucking cool things to this organization. I won't lie. So I'd be all for it. It'd be pretty sweet to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, and what was it? The NFL didn't step in, but they kind of advised for, what was it, Jerry Richardson? He used to own the Panthers. They advised him, or it was the owner purposely that to move on. That's how they got bought out.
Right.
Because he was kind of like in that Clippers situation where he was talking a little, disrespectful about people. If the NFL does it with Daniel Snyder, like AK said, it would only benefit them to have an owner like Jeff Bezos, the second or first, depending on what day of the week it is, richest person in the world. Why wouldn't you want that? Again, that's the guy who's putting a lot of money into the NFL, because right now the NFL signed a big contract with Amazon. Who owns Amazon? Jeff Bezos. So yeah, you'd want him to be one of your owners. It would only benefit the NFL. You got to think about business. Be smart about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It does. It does. There was something I was going to ask you guys. See if I could remember it real quick.
Hey, when that happens, when you just have something to ask people and then you just forget it.
Proverbial brain fart.
Yeah.
It's like you go brain fart.
Exactly that old mind flatulence.
I got a question.
Go ahead,
Is
Bill.
Devontae Smith playing to get his 38 yards to break D-Jack's record, or he's sitting out? Because he only needs 37 yards. 38.
Wow.
37 to tie, 38 to pass.
That could be one catch.
It's tempting, but would you risk injury for that?
That's
the
the
question.
other part. But look at this. So I'm looking at some numbers real quick. Do you know Devontae Smith has 20 less targets than Deshaun Jackson had his rookie season?
Wow.
And he only has one less reception than he had.
And he's only has 37 yards
to get 37 yards to pass him.
Wow.
What's
That's pretty impressive.
$120? He needs 125 to get 1,000, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep, that's correct.
I mean, that's even within reach. But he's not. I don't think he's gonna. Even if he does play, he's not gonna play the whole game.
No, definitely not the whole game.
I mean, yeah.
I got a better question for you. Do you think he cares?
Of course not. I don't think he cares.
Nah. I think he cares about winning, though. That's all he really cares about.
Yeah, exactly.
Stats, yeah. Stats are stats. They'll come if you're good enough. But I think the most important thing is winning, especially winning now while you're in the position with this young team. Yeah, let's get while we can.
I mean, I think he cares, but there's a level of it's kind of like a tiers, right?
Yeah.
He cares about winning more than he does the record, but he still cares about it because obviously it's been on his mind because he not too long ago pregame you've seen him wearing a Deshaun Jackson shirt. So I think that was the first Washington football game. I think pregame he was wearing the Deshaun Jackson shirt. So, obviously he respects the guy, and obviously I think it's been brought to his attention that it was within striking distance of him possibly breaking the record. So we'll see. I mean, maybe Sirianni gives him the first quarter to see if he could do it, and that's it. Maybe he gives him the first 15 minutes.
I won't be mad about it either way.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you guys. Okay, so we were talking about CTE and all that earlier. I know I've mentioned it to my guys here, my co-hosts Vic3 and AK. And just real quick, we're triple live, so anybody out there who's hasn't done so, please make sure you go hit the thumbs up on all three of our channels. The links for each channel, no matter which one you're on, is in the description. All you got to do is scroll down, click on the link, make sure you're subbed up to each channel, and you hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It helps push that content out there more and more. And like I say, you guys are the food in the water. So continue to do your thing, and we'll continue to do ours. But anyway, like I was going to say, all the things that the NFL is doing with the improving the helmets and all that, trying to reduce the concussions, everything, player safety, changing some of the rules and all that stuff. I still see it, and I want to hear from Jay Milt first on this one. I still continue to see, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, sometimes on special teams, I see guys running it around out there in between the whistle on a live play with their mouthpiece hanging down. The NFL has got to start cracking down on this more and more, because if they're really trying to reduce concussions, every player who doesn't have their mouthpiece in on it when they're out there on the field playing in between the whistle, they should have some repercussions sent their way. So that's what I think. It's a pet peeve of mine that I've been noticing more and more, and it drives me crazy because you're given a mouthpiece for a reason. Wear the damn thing. I understand you got to communicate pre-snap and post-snap, things like that. Take it out, talk, and put it back in. It's not that hard. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, listen, player safety is number one. You know what I'm saying? So, they need to crack down on that. And if these grown men can't handle following safety rules, then maybe they just need to find another profession. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think of all of the young kids who are looking like, oh, I want to be like that when I grow up. They see you running around not being safe, then when they go to high school and the coach like, go put your mouthpiece in. Coach, this guy don't do it, and he's making millions of dollars. Why do I need to? You know what I'm saying? It's going to set up a precedent, that if you let this slide, then what else? What's the next thing? You know what I mean? Are you going to let guys go back to the old helmets that aren't as safe as the ones that you're making them wear now? So I mean, they definitely need to crack down on it. And it's not going to hit until you get really punitive with it. So you start with the simple 5 yard penalty, 15 yards, then that don't work, you start hitting their pockets, you know what I mean? And if that don't work, then they don't want to learn.
Right. And they shouldn't be out there playing if they don't want to learn, because no matter how far along they are as being a professional, they're still always learning, they're still always growing, and like you said, they're setting a precedent. They're role models, for these young kids out there, and they need to set a better example. FG, what do you think about this topic?
Yeah, Foothills, I definitely agree with what you said. Like, if you what's the point in having a mouthpiece when you're not going to use it? Like, what's the point in that? And in terms of having that, I mean, I don't know what if there should be consequences or not, but I feel like if you don't have your mouthpiece in, why do you have a mouthpiece if you're not gonna use it? At that point, I feel like there should be a fine or something for that, for not having your mouthpiece in, because you're teaching the next generation of people that are eventually going to be in the NFL. Treat them how they should be in the NFL. Have their mouthpieces in, and I know you gotta talk with everybody, and you gotta take the mouthpiece out. Let everyone understand what you're saying. But once you're done talking, put the damn thing back in and then take the play. I'm also tired of seeing that too, Foothills, and I know you find that as a pet peeve, and I do the same thing. It's just ridiculous why the NFL players keep doing that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Vic, your thoughts?
I get it. I get why they do it, because if you played, if you're a little gassed and you got your mouthpiece in your mouth, you can't breathe as well. You're taking it out so that way you can breathe. A lot of times while they're playing, they're still trying to get that good breath while they're still playing, instead of having a mouthpiece, obstructing their breath. That's why a lot of them do it. But also, a lot of it has to do with the NFL themselves. The fact that they're always fighting players for the dumbest things. If you don't have your jersey tucked in, if your shoes ain't right, if you're not showing this, if you're not putting anything on your shoe. After a while, it's like, I don't give a damn. You're going to find me anyways. What do I care about my mouthpiece in my mouth? Right. I'm going to get fined $10,000 anyway. Who gives a damn? I think that's when it comes in. If the NFL picked and choose their battles, you might see more guys pop their mouthpiece in the mouth. But again, at the end of the day, the only person that's going to get affected is that player. They're the ones going to be having scrambled eggs for brains. So again, if you want your teeth, all of them, and not want to look like a Canadian hockey star, you know what I mean? Then don't keep your mouthpiece in. That's fine. But if you want to be smart about it, put the bad boy in. It's going to prevent you from getting a concussion.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. AK.
Who am I to tell you what you can and can't do with your body? If you want to sit there and you want to be a dumbass and not wear your mouthpiece, so be it. But the way I look at it, though, too, is don't try and ever get money for shit when it comes to after being retired. Don't turn around and come back later and say, hey, I need money for this and money for that. No, you didn't wear your mouthpiece. You get no money because you didn't take the precautions that we have set out there for you. Therefore, we're not going to this point.
Right.
It's pretty much on you. You want your help, go get it. But if you follow the rules and you wear your mouthpiece, hey, they will reach out and they will help you and do all that. But you got to set a base in the ground somewhere. And that's where I believe it should be, because I understand these players want help, but first you have to want to help yourself. And you not sitting there using your mouthpiece, well, that's showing me you don't give a shit. So why should I care what happens to you afterwards? Because you didn't care what happened to yourself during.
I mean, to me, it should be almost like, they won't let you on the field without your helmet, right? You can't play without your helmet. You shouldn't be. They shouldn't blow the whistle, even if it takes hiring a secondary team on the sidelines, like a safety and protocol team, who are like a group of officials, so to speak. But their goal is to make sure that everyone is safe, and they're looking at making sure that everybody has their mouthpiece in before the whistle's blown. And if they don't, then there's a flag thrown, and the other team, the player that didn't, it's like a false start. They would say, penalty on number blah 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 for 5 or 10 yards, whatever it would be. I don't think it would take too much to just really promote more health and safety. And I don't think the NFL does nearly a good enough job of doing so.
No, they don't.
I agree with
They don't
AK.
care. You said it. They don't care.
Yeah, but I agree with AK. You can't complain after the fact. Like those initial players, when they had those gripes, they had every right to, because back in the 40s, back in beforehand, they didn't really understand what happens to affect the brain. You can give them that. They didn't know back then. Later on, they caught up and they knew. So when those players
in the 80s, though, too, Vic, wore their mouthpiece.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For those players, like, they really didn't know the effects of what happens after the game. They knew that, guys had issues. They used to call it, you seeing stars, you getting your bell rung, but no one really knew the effects long term. For that, I understand. But just like AK said, now that you have all that knowledge, now that you know what can happen to you in the future, if you don't take those proper precautions to prevent that, that's on you. Don't come back, like AK said, and talk about, oh, I'm having all these long-lasting effects. I can't afford my health care. That's on you, my guy, because you didn't play smart. You know what I'm saying? As a football player, you know how to play smart. You know how to go beyond that. When you're a defensive player and you're just trying to, like, go after someone and just knock someone down. You're trying to get that heavy hit. Why? What are you trying to prove with that? Make a secure tackle. That's all you need to do. You're not going to get posterized. No one does that anymore. No one's even promoting that anymore. So you got to cut that out.
Yeah, no lie, bro. Like, no lie. You graduate college, but you can't figure out how to use a mouthpiece? Come on. Come on.
And like I said, man, you're saving your teeth.
What the fuck?
Why you want your chiclets all broken up?
See, that's the sad part too. Is that a lot of those?
Why do you want your mouth ruined? Why do you want your jaw to get broken or something?
Just like in high school, a lot of the top athletes in college, and I'm sure this still goes on. They skate through a lot of their classes, because they just they got that pull around the school. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. And when you say graduated from college, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that none of those guys that really earned their degree did so, but did they all? No. they didn't. A lot of them were handed degrees.
Ask them what they majored in. Ask them what
Right.
college, what class they took. Did you take
Underwater
history of
basket
television?
weaving.
Yeah, when you get history of television out here, like, oh,
Right.
all right, you have some cake
Yeah.
courses.
No, and I do agree with you, Foothills. There is a certain amount of guys out there who do escape by from their athleticism and their fame, and that's what gets them through college, and people just let them skate by. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I'd say at least 90% of these gentlemen know better. Yeah, I'm telling you, like we have some very well-educated human beings in the NFL. We really do. You know, some of those dudes took their degrees very, very highly. You know, they did not flaunder it. And I'll tell you what, they're smart enough. You can't tell me they're not smart enough.
Facts right there.
So Jay Mill, what I want to ask your thoughts on the running back position going into, obviously this weekend and then into the playoffs. Is Boston? What do you think? Is Boston Scott going to be our number one guy going into the wild card round? What do you think, Milt?
I think he kind of has to. Like, he's the most healthiest between him and Gainwell. I think the worst thing we could do is put Jordan Howard out there, and he further aggravates that stinger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see Miles giving it a go in the playoffs. Like, no, I mean, he has to be really, between him, between Gainwell, Scott, and then we picked up Johnson. You know what I mean? Let those guys, get their legs, what I'm saying, start getting their feet wet, because we're going to run the ball in the playoffs. We're going to run the ball. So get used to that contact. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how I feel about it. I mean, Jordan Howard isn't playing unless I absolutely positively need him.
Right. I got you. Yeah. SG, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Jay Milton on what he said. I mean, unless if Sanders is gonna give it a go in the wild card round, you would honestly probably would rely on guys like Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell, on Johnson, who we picked up. You would rely on those guys unless if you really want Miles Sanders to play in the wild card. And understand that we want to go into this game as healthy as we could possibly get, but keep in mind you want to have your guys 100% ready to go. And is Sanders going to be ready by that time? That is still unknown. And is Howard 100%? That's still unknown as well. But week 18 should give him some time to hopefully bring him back a little bit more and hopefully get him closer to 100%. It's just that we'll have to see if they're 100% by wildcard weekend, depending on who we face.
Yeah. I got you. Vic, what do you think?
It's what do you consider it? Is Boston Scott a lead back? Is he just the starter because he technically started the beginning of the game? I think in all intents and purposes, we have a running back by committee right now. We don't have a official starter, as you would say. We don't have a number one guy. We have guys that fill certain roles and certain looks that we're going to need. We have them for. Boston Scott, yeah, you would call him the starter, but I guess you would say he's probably the first two downs. And you got Howard in there. Maybe you want to throw in Gainwell for some specialty. But again, they all have their strengths, and that's where we're going to have to use them. So yeah, you're going to have to use Howard as that lead going forward. But excuse me, Scott as that lead. But again, we do have Howard, who can carry on the workload, just like Scott can. We have Gainwell who could mix it up, get a change of pace back. We have all these things, but it's just for me, it's just a running back committee by now. We don't have that essential one guy.
Right. I mean, did we ever really this year? I mean, that was kind of in question, and I don't know. I definitely don't want the Eagles to rush back Sanders because he's already been having some issues holding on to the football, and with a broken
Yeah,
hand,
damn sure.
the other team's going to be biting, clawing, scratching, punching, everything at that hand. They're going to be ripping at it. So, yeah, I don't want him rushed back at all. AK, what are your thoughts on the RB position right now?
I expect Jordan Howard to sit this week. I don't think he sees the field. He's going to be resting for playoff time because he will be our one back, number one. All right. I expect to see a lot of Kerryon Johnson. Probably Kenny Gainwell. And I don't know if you'll see Scott or not. I'm not sure. But you heard it here first. Kerryon Johnson is going to be our Jay Ajayi when it comes week 1 of the playoffs. Okay, you're going to have. I highly doubt Miles Sanders will be ready for our wild card game. I highly doubt that. Jordan Howard is going to be your mini me LeGarrette Blount, and Kerryon Johnson is going to be your Jay Ajayi. And I think they're going to make a pretty deadly combo between both of them.
I mean, we have been leading, the league in rushing per game. So, like Jay Mill said earlier, there's no doubt about it. We're going to run the football in the playoffs, and we're going to try to run it down whoever we play's throats. Doesn't matter if it's the Rams, the Bucks, Cowboys, Cardinals. It doesn't matter.
And Kerryon Johnson has never had an offensive line like ours. I mean, think about the shitty offensive line he ran behind in Detroit, and he made it work. He actually didn't do a bad job his rookie year. A lot of people had him in fantasy. I know I did. So if he can do that behind a makeshift offensive line, imagine what that kid can do behind us.
Right.
It's just about being healthy at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, definitely. And that's why I think that, I mean, if he does see the field, I think Scott maybe only plays a series this weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even play at all, like some of our other starters who could, benefit for some rest. And we also need to preserve, because we're getting thin at certain positions, like running back. We've taken a couple of hits at their top 2 guys, and I don't think they're going to risk Scott too much because he's shown, he can do some pretty good things out there on the football field, and that's running it between the tackles, just running it on the outside, and that's catching it out of the backfield. So I'm so glad that we kept Scott around because we needed him for reasons like this. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why I said I think Kerryon gets the workload here this week because, one, he's fresh. He hasn't been used all season long. So what a perfect time then to knock the rust off right now.
Right.
Let him go out there and get a full game under his belt. Let him run behind this offensive line. Just get his rust knocked off. Let him feel comfortable. That way, whenever we start wild card weekend, he's already prepped, ready to go, and hopefully it all works out.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to get your guys not only to get the score prediction for this weekend, but also I want you guys to predict, and I will too, of who we're going to play in round 1 of the playoffs. So, AK, hear from you first, buddy.
Well, unfortunately, man, I'm going to have us taking this one as an L because I believe they are going to start their starters. I do not believe we're going to. And that's going to be a huge difference. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I don't mind because, it's like I said, all that matters to me is that next one. And if we end up playing Dallas, that's the one we win. I don't give 2 shits about the regular season. It's all about what we do in the postseason. So, hey, I don't know, man. It could go either way. It just all depends on what we do. But if we don't start our starters, man, I say it's going to be 28-17, Dallas.
Yeah, because Dallas still has more to play for than we do because they can move
Yeah.
up in seeding with a win, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that pains me to say it, but
So 28-17 Dallas. And so who do you think we're going to play in the first round or in the wild card round?
Dallas.
Okay. Gotcha. So hopefully, like you said, it's damn hard. It's real hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. So hopefully it plays out like you think it's going to. Vic, what do you think?
I think both teams are going to rest their starters. Dallas, they're going into the postseason. With us, we have a lot of players that got affected with COVID. We're going to rest both of them. I think we're actually going to win this game with our backups. It won't be much, but we'll end up taking the win. For the first round of the wild card, I think it's going to be the Bucks. I've seen there's so many scenarios, but most of them all play out to us playing the Bucks. Very few go to us playing the Rams, and even smaller few going us playing as the Cowboys. So the Bucks are pretty much the team we're going to be facing.
Interesting.
Hope you're
Okay.
right.
SG? What do you
I'm
think?
along the lines with what Vic said, but here's the thing. If both of us end up resting our starters, I'm taking the Eagles. But if we rest our starters and Dallas plays their starters, I'm taking Dallas. And that is yet to be known on how it's going to go down in terms of if we're resting our starters, which I think that's what Sirianni, I'm assuming, is going to do. We're just going to have to see what Dallas does. Are they going to rest their starters? Are they going to play their starters for maybe a couple drives? What are they going to do? So it really depends on if Dallas is going to play their starters or not, because we probably are obviously going to rest our starters because, like I said before, we want to go into the playoffs as healthy as we possibly can. We want to go into the wild card round as healthy as possible to have a chance at beating our first round opponent. So it'll really depend on if Dallas plays their starters or not. But if I had to go with one right now, I'm actually say that Dallas actually does rest their starters because I actually think it would be a wiser decision to prepare for the playoffs and not going into the playoffs injured. So since that's the case, I'm going to say the Eagles end up winning this game. I'll give it to us 21-17. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think we both rest our starters. There won't be a lot of points scored for both sides. Both teams will put some points up on the board, but I think if Dallas rests their stars, I don't think they're going to put up as much as normal. And then in terms of our first round opponent, I'm going to say it's the Bucks. I think they're probably the one of, if not the best opponent that we could possibly face because I probably have no confidence in us against the Rams. Probably not the Cardinals. It would be in between Dallas and Tampa for me, but depending on where it's played. And we knew what happened in Dallas the first time. The first time we played Dallas, we got absolutely killed by them. And I don't want that in Dallas again. So I'm going to say we play the Tampa Bay Bucks. We play Brady. And they I think, have a bunch of issues right now in terms of, like, injuries, like weaknesses. They have a couple strengths, but a lot of weaknesses. So I'm saying we play Bucks first round, and we take out the Cowboys 21-17.
Got you. All right. Like the energy. Milt, what do you think?
I feel alone.
Let's see. So I'm gonna say, of course, we're probably gonna rest most of our starters, and I feel like Dallas will play theirs because they would like to move up in seeding, but it's virtually impossible because if they win a game and the Rams and lose, they'll all have the same record and they won't go above Tampa because Tampa beat them. So I think it'll be backups against backups, honestly. And I think our backups are better than theirs. So I'm going to take us 24-21. Jake Elliott game-winning field goal.
How can you suck me in like that and then flip-flop? That's messed up. It's fucked up.
So then, as far as the playoffs matchup, I think I don't think we'll see Dallas. We would have to catch them on the second round if they make it. Hell, if we make it too. But
you said if they make
it, I think we'll actually have to play the Rams. I think we'll be going out to LA to play the Rams, and I think that'll be a really good game.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, so I also think that it's going to be backups versus backups, and
Motherfuck.
I mean I think it's going to be real
He said,
close.
"What the fuck?"
I think it's going to
I'm
come down.
I'm dangling by myself on this one, I guess, huh?
I think it's going to come down to the end. Um, I'm going to say the Eagles win 24-23.
Ooh, 1 point game. Wow.
And Minshew is going to win it at the end with a touchdown pass. Yeah. So
Mania.
as far as the first round, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's going to be the Bucks more than likely. But I mean, my gut for some reason thinks I'm with Milton. I think it's going to be the Rams for some reason, and I like that matchup. I think we can get Stafford off of his spot. I think we can get to him. I think we can make him uncomfortable. And I think Darius Slay and Rodney McLeod and company, could have a nice little day against Mr. Stafford because
Stafford loves to give gifts.
Exactly.
He loves it.
He really,
God,
really.
I hope I'm the only one right in this whole scenario.
But listen, though, this is why I really think it'll be the Rams because Tampa lost to them, so they can't jump them. So even if both of them lose, like they have the same record now, so if they both win and both lose, they'll stay in the same spot.
Right.
Someone I should have just reposted it, but someone actually put what is it? These are 25 different scenarios. Mostly all of them lead to the Bucks. Only certain other leads to the Rams. But again, it all depends on who wins and who loses this weekend. The Niners are going to be affected. The Seahawks, they all play into it. That's what's really going to tell who we play against. It all depends on those other teams.
Yeah.
I'm just moving with my gut.
Yeah.
Listen, AK, it's all good, man. If you turn out being right, you get to come back and be like, listen, you guys are going to listen to me one day.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's actually good.
Down at my feet.
Don't worry. Don't worry. He's taking mental notes right now. He's definitely taking one.
I am taking.
He ain't going to forget.
There's no brain fart here.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you guys, we've been on for over 2 hours now, 2 hours and 18 minutes going on now. So I'm getting tired. I've had a long day. I've been up since before 6 a.m. out here on the West Coast. So it was early since it was dark 30. So, yeah, I mean, you guys have any closing comments or just want to let everybody know where they could find you at, all that good stuff? Jay Milt, start with you, my dude.
Oh, yeah, Jay Milton from Jersey on YouTube. I don't really create content yet, and I am looking forward to this game on Saturday. I really am. I'm kind of bummed that they moved us, but I appreciate it because I know I can watch it. You know what I mean? I don't have to have any sort of special pass or nothing to watch it. I know it's going to be on national TV, so at least I definitely get to watch our guys go out there and put some good film on tape. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, you would get the game anyway, right? Being in Jersey, you would get it locally, wouldn't you?
No, man, I'm not in Jersey anymore, man. I really wish I was, man. I'm down here in North Carolina. I'm not far from
Got you.
I'm not far from Gate City Sports. He's in Greensboro. I'm in Durham. He's like 45 minutes away from me.
All right. That's cool. Got a couple of big Eagles fans over there in North Carolina holding it down.
Oh yeah.
I like it. Oh. SG, what do you think?
Not really any closing comments apart from let's just go out, give it our all against Dallas with all the backups, see if we can beat them or not. Let's just put up a good effort going into the wild card and have some film ready. Hopefully our guys will all get better and hopefully we find a way to succeed. But y'all can find me on YouTube, BLSG. Search that in the search bar. If you guys subscribe to me, appreciate you for doing so. Follow me on Twitter, BLSG20. Give your boy a follow over there. And before I leave it off with one more note, I am possibly going to have a live stream tomorrow because it is after 12 o'clock here on the East Coast, so that's why I said tomorrow instead of 2 days from now. But tomorrow I will probably have a live stream just to like kind of talk about this Cowboys game and kind of what we're expecting for the playoffs and all that. So if you're a subscriber of mine, if you're not yet a subscriber, first of all, hit that subscribe button on my channel and be sure to tune into that because we're going to be chopping it up and I might have some of these guys on, so definitely be sure to tune in and let's just go into this game, see what we can do against Dallas, get some film in, and let's prepare for that wild card, man. It's always been fly. Let's get it for the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Vic, you're up.
I think I got something to say right quick, and this is just to the fans in general, NFL. We got to do a better job of recognizing players that are in the game today. With us as Eagles fans, we just know that Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata won't be making it to the Pro Bowl. We know these votes, the way they come in is through fans. In most part, it's a popularity vote. Most of these fans aren't really fans of the game. They just know certain names, so that's why they vote for certain players. Like, that has to change. The NFL has to step in and let coaches, personnel, let them vote for Pro Bowls. Let them vote for MVP because I have a big issue with the fact that Aaron Rodgers is being talked about winning this MVP and running away with it when I feel a player like Jonathan Taylor deserves that. I think the NFL is doing a bad job of focusing and giving attention and giving credit to players when it's due. Jonathan Taylor should be running away with his MVP voting. There should be no question. From the beginning to the end of the season, he's been their one constant. When you look at that Arizona game, down 5 starting linemen, down a freaking tight end, the quarterback, hasn't given them much. And he still outperformed and was, over 150 yards? It was insane. You gotta show the guys who are working out there, give them their credit when they're here. Don't wait until after the fact and talk about them in past tense. Remember him in this one season. That kid deserves to be the MVP. Jordan Mailata deserves to be a Pro Bowler. Lane Johnson deserves to be a Pro Bowler. I'll stop and get off my little soapbox. That's what I want to say on that subject. But y'all know where y'all can find me on Twitter. I'm your host, Vic3. You know who I am. You see me over here with these guys, always supporting great content. Please, as always, like I say, subscribe to everyone you see here. J.Milt, my guy, I can't wait for you to come out with your channel. I'll just get up on your Facebook. If you got one, I'll be a subscriber right now until I get that notification. But listen, tune in Saturday, 2 p.m. Me and my guy, Backyard Birds Podcast, Jerry Lee, we have a show called The Big Ticket where we look at the opponent's perspective of the game. We talk about the Eagles all week. Let's figure out what the opponent thinks of us. Let's look at their point of view. So, tune in 2 o'clock Saturday before the game. Me and my guy, we'll try to find a Cowboys content creator. If you are watching and you are a Cowboys content creator, reach out to me. Again, I'm your host, Big3 on Twitter. And I'll be there for the post-game show. I don't know if we're doing a live or not for the game this week. But if we aren't, we'll probably all do it together. And if not, we'll probably all do it together anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking about live streaming again this week, and then for whoever we play and whichever day we play on, which it'll probably be Saturday again because we play on Saturday this week. I was thinking about doing like a live when we do a live stream play-by-play. We could have a couple people come on with us. Maybe J.Milt, maybe SG. We could bring a couple of people on and have like a 5 or 6 people person panel as we're watching the game live.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to do that.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that some more. Obviously, and
yeah, we'll probably do it like on Twitter or something.
Yeah, AK, what do you got? Any closing comments, my dude?
Yeah, man. First off, I want to start off by saying, it's been one hell of a year this past year. I started doing this 7 months ago, and here and to, do this with you and do this with Vic and, meet so many cool people and, develop so many cool friendships out there with so many people. And YouTube made that possible, and I thank everyone for that and all the love and support. I do have 2,000 watch hours now. So that's a cool thing for me. But I'm trying to get the 1,000 subs now. I'm trying to get this channel monetized, and so we can do some special things here. Definitely, that is my goal this year. That is my New Year's goal that I set out for myself, is to get to 1,000 subs, and I want to be there as soon as possible. So definitely, let's get that done. But yeah, man, I can't thank you guys enough. You've truly been brothers and friends, and can't wait to see what happens, man. Got a long road ahead.
Yeah, the future is very bright for all of us, and I'm excited for it as well. And you said it very well, AK. We have to stop every once in a while and really embrace what we have in front of us. And as Eagles fans, this is my closing comments to all you guys out there. Really take a moment and and just, this weekend is obviously it's going to be, whether it's backups versus backups or it's our backups versus their starters, whatever. But just take a moment and realize that we're in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like we said earlier, not a whole lot of people were picking us to be anywhere near this type of a record this year. We reached 9 wins, possibly double-digit wins if we get one this weekend. So just take a minute and just really soak it in, because we haven't reached 9 wins since 2019. So it's been a couple years, and it doesn't happen every year. So really, be grateful for what we have in front of us and enjoy the ride, because this thing it's going to get more intense, and it's going to get fun down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? And you guys can always find me on Instagram at Philly_Foothills82, on Facebook at Philly Foothills, on Twitter at Philly Foothills as well. So, and of course my YouTube channel, The Nest Out West, where we're always keeping it Fuego, 24/7, 365, holding it down for Eagles Nation all the way out here in the golden state of California. So, with that being said, we love and appreciate all you guys. Because like I always say, each and every one of you, all you guys out there, you're the food and the water to the channel. Without you, it does not continue to survive. So if you're feeling the vibe, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep our dreams alive. Okay, everybody? Take care. Be safe. And until next time, we fly until we die. Stay mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing us on your screen. But most importantly, like I always say, keep it Fuego.
Hit the music, Fuego.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Appreciate it.
You all.
Sure.
Drop that beat, Fuego.
Monk.